Alright guys, so let's go here and talk a little bit about death magic. What to do with it, how to use it, how to break into it, and how it can be useful for you throughout the game. I also, in a lot of my other videos, I've gotten a lot of complaints about forgetting to turn on my cursor when I do these kind of like presentations. So here you guys got a big Chungus cursor for you. Let's continue on here. So Death Magic is one of the magic schools, one of the schools of sorcery in Dominion 6, and it's definitely one of the more powerful schools. Death Magic, I would say, is a good late game strategy in itself. Like just having Death Magic is an optimal way to really be very powerful in the late game. A lot of like the elemental magic that's very common for many nations tends to fall off as the game goes on. So things like Death Magic, Astral, and Blood, these ones are much more powerful into the late game, and they're also a lot harder to build up that kind of strength. But one thing when we think about just talking about death magic in general, I think a lot of people, well, I don't know a lot of people, but I've definitely seen some people who get a little bit confused about what you should be doing exactly with your death magic. Death magic has a lot of tools available for it. It's a very diverse school. It has many different options. One thing I often see is people tend to use it just to summon units. For example, reanimation is a really cheap spell, really easy to cast. It gives you a bunch of long dead units. But I feel this is a little bit of a noob trap, and similar spells like this one are also not really that useful. They're not really an ideal use of gems. Those 3 gems may not seem like a lot, but it adds up quite a bit, and these long dead are just not going to be useful enough to really make up the cost. So these kind of summon spells are always a little bit of a noob trap. There are a few like summon unit spells that are pretty good, but in general, I tend to avoid all of the, or most of the unit summons. Now, when it comes to actually building up your death economy, the first step is just getting death gems, of course. This is a gem-based magic school, so it has all the ups and downs that other gem-based schools have. That being, you have to actually find death sites, so you have to get a death mage, like this little whatever unfrozen mage here, going around looking for death sites. Now, there are a lot of different ways you can site search. Of course, the easiest way is just getting a unit, like a death mage, to go around and look for them. But the fact that you do have to site search and the fact that it's kind of random what sites you find means death gems are pretty valuable. And because death mages are not that easy to get unless you start as a death nation, it makes them a lot more valuable. I also find that death sites tend to be a little bit rarer than other sites. Maybe not that significantly, but generally in most terrain types, I find death sites tend to be a little bit harder to find. I don't remember the exact ratios in terms of which landforms tend to favor certain types of magic, but I'll pull that up right now and we'll discuss it in a second. All right, so these are the actual site frequencies here. Now, this is just for early age. Each age is a little bit different. Usually as the ages go on, it gets harder and harder to find certain sites. But you can see here, death, I guess, is kind of like middle ground. It's not as rare as astral or air even, but it is still fairly uncommon. The best places generally being swamps. Swamps tend to have a lot of death sites, as do wastelands, and many other places can sometimes have a death site. The main thing you can see is that the chance to find one is quite low with just a 1 death mage. You definitely need at least a 2 or 3 death mage to find most of the sites. With a single path death mage, you're really not going to be finding much, even in some of the best locations like the swamp. The ratio of finding these sites goes up significantly just with a 1 point increase. So that is kind of an annoying thing. A lot of other paths are not so variable depending on which path you have or how high the path is. But again, it's kind of middle ground, I guess. So I guess it's not super rare, but it's not that common either. Definitely more common than some of the other types. But again, let's continue on with our talking about death magic here. All right, so the basis of your death economy is your death mages going around and searching for death gems. And as I said, death gems are pretty valuable. Another reason is because a lot of death spells require them, not just for casting spells in battle, but summoning a lot of things. And this is definitely a path you want to be summoning a lot of stuff. And because these things are so valuable, they're expensive, you do want to be hoarding up as many gems as possible. An example of something that's probably another bad investment. Again, a lot of these big unit summons I tend to not really like a behemoth. This seems really cool, right? It's a big undead elephant. It's only 7 gems. It's not like that much. It is quite a lot though. That 7 gems can go a long way, and that can add up a lot if you're summoning multiple of these. And plus this behemoth, even though he looks cool, he really won't last as long as you think. So you're basically just pouring money, pouring gems down the drain when you're summoning a lot of these units. Really, if you want to make your gems go as far as possible, I would say the best investment is commander summons. Things like maybe a Mound Fiend, a Shade or a Spectral Mage, a Wraith Lord, and other kind of big commander summons. Another good investment for your death gems is in battlefield spells. Now, not all the battlefield spells you'll be casting require death gems. A lot of them do, especially a lot of like rituals and things like that. But a lot of the very useful spells often don't need any gems, but you do need a fairly powerful caster to use them. Things like Terror, which gives a fear effect in a fairly large area. Horde of Skeletons, of course, is a classic. Just allows you to do the skelly spam strategy. Get one death mage and just spam out a bunch of skeletons. If you get a bunch of them together, maybe a few spectral mages, for example, with death 2, you can have them start spamming out skeletons and really be very difficult to deal with if the opponent doesn't know how to cope with that. Other things too, like Drain Life and lots of other options as well. You even get some more high-level spells later, like Rigor Mortis is another kind of classic battlefield spell. This gives huge amounts of fatigue damage to every enemy on the map that isn't undead or inanimate. And so if you're running a small undead army, for example, if your nation's otherwise not undead, but you have like a small army of dedicated undead troops, maybe a few undead commanders and a bunch of random undead troops, you can do something like Rigor Mortis and really decimate an enemy army that might be much more powerful than you and maybe not expecting that. Of course, another thing that's important about undead is, sorry, not undead, but about death magic is undead leadership. If you want to be leading any kind of undead units around, you need some kind of undead leader. Luckily, something like the Mound King is really cheap and easy, and this is a much better investment. I would say it's only enchantment 2. You see 3 gems, but I would much rather get a Mound King than I would get a bunch of Long Dead. Not only are the Mound Kings great undead leaders, they're also fairly decent, just generic leaders as well. Their leadership's about 50, which is pretty good. They're about the same as just a generic commander. So you can throw them in your armies as just a little bit more leaders, have a little bit more leadership in your army, and of course use them as an undead leader for leading around small groups of undead or even large ones, depending on what you plan to do. Now let's talk about death nations. Now, in general, this guide I'm doing, I want to talk about death in a neutral sense, as in not specifically for any nation, just maybe you're playing some nation that doesn't have access to death and how you can actually use it. But there are quite a lot of death nations. Death is one of the, I'd say it's one of the more popular paths, especially in the especially in the early and middle age, actually even the late age too, I shouldn't even say. But there are quite a lot of nations that at least have some access to death magic. You can see in the early age, there's quite a lot of nations that have fairly big death magic. A lot of other things to consider when you're thinking of death nations are, do they have access to some kind of free spawn? What summons are unique to them or special? Do they have any unique spells? Do they have like particularly good mages? For example, in the early age, a few nations I wanted to highlight are Formoria, Satis, Yomi, and Niflheim. All of these nations, I think, are quite good death nations. Satis is like the premier death nation. They basically just, that's all they do is death. They have lots of easy access to great death mages. They have some special items that can even buff their death magic by a huge amount. I think they have a special mask in Dominion 6 that can give them a +2 bonus to death magic, which is crazy, to be honest. And there's a lot of other good things about them. Same with Yomi. Yomi has so many unique death summons. They have the Ghost General and a lot of other good things about them. Formoria and Niflheim are fairly similar in that they both specialize in Death Air, which I think is a really good combination. Formoria, I would say, is a little bit weaker in its death magic, but you do get the big giants, the Death Air giants, which even though it's not really an ideal like thugging unit. I still think Former is a pretty good nation. I'd say this is generally a pretty easy nation for a new player as well. Another nation that's excellent for death is Lanka. Specifically, Lanka can really specialize in undead death magic or blood magic with demons, but I would say it's not really in your favor to go for both. Generally, you want to focus on one or the other. If you try to split your attention too much, you're just going to really have a lot of mess of nothing. But again, both of these offer good supplements. So for example, I'm playing Lanka as a really heavy death nation. I'm really going hard into the death. I'm using my mages to get a lot of free spawn and so on. I can also have a little bit of blood to supplement that and even mix the two together to get like vampires and stuff. Likewise, I can use death magic to supplement my otherwise blood-focused strategy. So this kind of variability makes Lanka a very strong nation, even though it's fairly predictable since people know you're either going to go with one or the other. Now, in the Middle Age, a few popular death nations. This is like the Death Age. Death nations are some of the biggest, most powerful, and most important in this age here, especially which is one of the most famous nations in the game. This is a pop kill nation of undead Romans, and they're like the iconic death nation. They just have masses and masses of undead free spawn. All their mages are just big death mages, and they basically are just a little bit of a one-trick pony. They just have a lot of death, and that's kind of it. But, that's death magic is just so good that does really well. I think when I've seen online stats of how which nations tend to rank the highest in terms of win rate, is still very, very high. Meanwhile, other nations which are maybe technically better, like Nazca and Scalaria, which are really good. Like Scalaria is arguably the best nation in the game. Nazca is also pretty close for that. Maybe you could argue one or the other of these are the best nation in the game. Both of them are really good, and both of them are really strong death nations. And again, you can see how powerful death magic is if that can make these nations so powerful. But they tend to have really low win rate. Even though Nazca is amazing, its win rate is actually really low. And I think that's because people know it's so good that they tend to gang up on it very early. Meanwhile, just as people have the idea that, yeah, it's strong, but it's not like that strong. And it's also very hard to deal with because they destroy the land they own. So a lot of people don't even want to bother fighting them. And they kind of let it grow like a malignant tumor. And I think that's why tends to do really well. Meanwhile, other nations which are technically better tend to not do as well online. Another nation and a kind of fan favorite is Asphodel. Asphodel got a lot of buffs in Dominion 6. So, I've enjoyed playing it recently. Asphodel is a really cool nation. They're a death nature mixed nation, very unique kind of style, sort of like an undead pan sort of nation with a lot of the mannequin sort of skeletons wrapped in vines and stuff like that. Very cool. Another pop kill nation as well, but very unique, and definitely one of the more popular death nations, even though it's a big step down from some of the more powerful ones of the same age. Lastly, in the late age, you have a few other death nations as well. Lemuria, another candidate for one of the most powerful nations in the game, and you can see another big death nation. Lemuria is like Ermor in that it's a pop kill nation, but what if Ermor was actually like OP as well? Like, what if instead of just having a bunch of mindless units, they had like units that could actually think, which makes them much scarier to deal with. A thing with Ermor is because all the units are mindless, you can easily target their commanders, but in Lemuria, it's not really the case. You can't really do that. Lemuria is really powerful. A few other mentions I wanted to mention here is Satis again. Late Age Satis is like, as much as Early Age Satis was the mega death nation, Late Age Satis is like the giga death nation. They're just 100% fully focused on death. Everything about them is just death, and you just want to go hard into death magic as much as possible. Now, they're not as strong as Lemuria, which is also a really big death nation, but Lemuria has a few other tricks up its sleeve. Of course, being pop kill and having a lot of astro magic and things like that. Satis is just like big death and big bone snakes, and that's it. A few other nations are Agartha. I really like Late Age Agartha. The Death Earth kind of mix is pretty cool, and they have a lot of unique summons as well relating to kind of crafted undead units and sort of Frankenstein-like stitched up undead. The last one I want to mention is something I guess it is pretty popular. Late Age Atlantis is a really powerful nation, and it is a death nation too, but it's something I think a lot of people don't tend to think about as much. But I think the combination of ice magic and death magic is really powerful, and I honestly really like Late Age Atlantis. It's a really cool nation, and again, it synergizes really well. Having the cold atmosphere, a lot of nations tend to go heat, so going cold is, in terms of your scales, is always a little bit of an advantage for you, since a lot of nations tend to not like cold environments. And mixing the cold with your undead gives you, again, a big advantage, because, again, a lot of other units are not going to be able to resist cold that easily. So, again, that's pretty nice too. So I quite like Late Age Atlantis. Now let's talk about some death mages available. First of all, talking about independent death mages, if you're trying to break into death, you don't have any death magic for your nation, the easiest way to do it is just finding some death mages around. So some of the best options are things like Bone Readers and Kamazots. These guys are guaranteed to start with one death and have a possibility to start with a few other paths, but mainly this one death is the main thing. Especially the Kamazots are amazing death mages. I mean, they're not very strong, but the fact that they can fly means they can travel everywhere and sight search really easily. So these guys make for amazing sight searchers. If you can find a cave full of Kamazots, definitely pick them up. And just the small chance of blood magic is always a nice little bonus as well. If you can get a Death Blood Kamazots, that's a nice way to start getting into blood magic as well. Bone Readers are pretty common. Bone Tribe, if you ever see a province of Bone Tribe, they're fairly common on the map, so it's usually not too hard to find these guys. A few other options are Wolf Tribe. Now, these guys only have a 10% chance of death magic, but Wolf Tribe is even more common than Bone Tribe. I almost always find a Wolf Tribe, so these guys are really easy to get. Onyx Sorceresses are probably, again, even better than the other ones, but they're quite rare. The Onyx Amazon province is really hard to find, but if you do find this one, they're guaranteed Death Earth, and with a 10% chance for 2 death, which is pretty nice as well. So these are a great option. Another good option is, I forgot to mention here, is the Cynophilians. If you find a province of Cynophilians, the kind of dog-headed people, they have about a 30% chance, at least their shamans have a 30% chance to start with death magic. And actually in the game I'm going to show later, that was what I went with for my starting death mages. I found a province of Cynophilians, I got a couple Death 1 mages, and I used them to go sight search for me, which helped me kind of get started. Now, there are other ways to break into death too. For example, one of the most popular ones is Forest Troll Tribe. Now, this used to be better. It used to be a little bit cheaper, and that made it kind of more useful. Now it's a little bit expensive, and to be honest, what you get for this, I kind of have a doubt how useful this would be. This was better when it was only 3 options. So you either had, of course, Guaranteed Death 1 and Nature 1, but you used to have, in Dominions 5, the previous game, just Earth, Death, and Nature. Now they added Glamour, so you're only getting a 25% chance to get Death 2, and that's a big investment of Nature Gems for a Death 1. I mean, if you're a big Nature Nation, fine, maybe you could do that. I feel like I'd much rather just look for some random indie death mage. I'd rather recruit a ton of Wolf Tribe than use this guy, to be honest. But, he's an option. He's there, and he's pretty easy to cast. I'd say the Forest Troll Shaman is not a bad commander either. He can break you into a lot of different paths, which is pretty good. But again, if you're looking for death magic, there are probably better options. Another one is the Fey summons, specifically Fey Prince and Fairy Court. Now, specifically, if you summon them in winter in a forest, snow forest, you'll get the Unseelie versions who do have death magic. The Unseelie Prince is guaranteed death and glamour, and the Queen of Winter is not guaranteed death, but she does have a 50% chance of death too, which is quite good. It is a big investment of gems, but I would say both of these guys are great anyways, so I don't think it's a waste. Both these are really amazing summons. The Unseelie Prince, if you see my video on Glamour, I talked about using the Unseelie Princes as kind of light thugs, and I really like these guys too. Death and Glamour has a lot of cool cross-path kind of spells as well, so I think this is a kind of cool unit. Queen of Winter is quite good as well. It gets you into water magic, which is nice if you don't really have access to water. And of course, 3 Glamour is quite nice too. You get a big Glamour mage, and the possibility of getting 2 death is quite nice, and even 2 air is pretty good if you don't really have air magic. Now, for one of the best summon spells to break into death are the Hidden In spells. These do require you to have death already, but for example, if you have a a god or a commander or whatever who you can empower with one death, or maybe you start with like some death on your god, you can use one of these spells in, for example, some type of terrain. So you use these in different type of terrain, hidden in sand on a wasteland, hidden underneath in a cave, hidden in snow in a like a mountain. So if you use these spells in a certain area, then you will get a big group of units, including one of these mages, specifically the Unfrozen Mage for Hidden in Snow, the Dust Priest for Hidden in Sand, and the Release Sage for Hidden Underneath. All these guys are quite good. I would say all of them are really useful. They all start with at least Death 2, though the Unfrozen Mage only has Death 1 to start with. He has a really weird kind of setup where he's a bunch of 50% chances. So I kind of don't like the Frozen Mage. I would say this is definitely the worst option out of all of them. The Dust Priest is pretty good. He gives you a guaranteed +2 for either Fire, Earth, or Astral, and he also starts with guaranteed Death Magic. So this could be a great way to get into cross paths of these. He also has a 50% chance of getting another level of death, which is quite nice. The Release Sage is also quite good. He's a little bit worse than the Dust Priest. He has a similar setup where he's a bunch of 50% chances, just like the Unfrozen Mage. I do like that the Dust Priest has a 100% chance for one of these, and +2 for them. So I'd say Hidden in Sand is definitely the best one. Hidden Underneath is a close second, and Hidden Snow is probably the worst, because Water Magic is not that useful, and a bunch of these 50% chances, I mean, maybe it's good, maybe not. I don't like that it's only one guaranteed Death Magic, because I kind of want at least 2 to be more useful. By the way, these guys are a great option, and they allow nations that mostly have elemental gems, like water and earth, to break into death a little bit easier. Now let's talk about some Death Mage summons. Now, I mentioned before that probably the best use of your Death Gems is going to be summoning commanders, summoning mages. These are a few of the common mages you might summon, the Revenant, the Spectre, and the Malfiend. I would pretty much ignore the Revenant. I mean, you're spending 9 gems to just get a Death 1 mage. I would only get this guy just as a site searcher, maybe like 1 or 2 of them just to do site searching. If you can't find any other mages around, like you can't find any independent mages, and maybe you have a commander, sorry, I should say a god with some death magic, you could maybe summon like a couple of these guys just to help you site search and so on and empower them later. But I really wouldn't rely on these guys. I really wouldn't summon maybe more than 1 or 2 if you need them for like site searching, things like that. The Summon Spectre is a pretty good mage. He's a little bit expensive, 22 gems for this guy, and he's a lot of random chances, so it's not really guaranteed that you'll even get more than 1 death. And in the game I was playing, I had 2 Summon Spectres, and neither of them had 2 death. One was like Death Water Water, and another one was Death Water Astral, which is kind of random. These guys do allow you to break into a lot of different paths, and they do have a chance to get 2 or even 3 of certain paths, like maybe 3 death or 2 of one of these other ones. But again, it's pretty low chances, and mostly you're going to get a random mix of these guys. And they're a little bit expensive to be summoning tons and tons of them. But still, I would summon a few of them. They're really good units. They're pretty good mages. They have a Fear Aura. They're ethereal as well. And they make for decent kind of mages if you want a little bit of diversity, magic diversity in your nation. Last one is the Malfiend. This is probably your best option in terms of summoning a dedicated Death Mage. Guaranteed Death 3, as well as a priest, and he's a reanimator priest as well. So if you want to use like reanimation, I would do it with this guy because he can get much better benefits from it, and he doesn't have to actually pay gems to reanimate. He can just use it as a built-in ability. So he can sit somewhere and just reanimate a bunch of long dead, build up a small force, and then also use things like skeleton spamming, a horde of skeletons in battle, which would be quite nice. So I would probably spend more money on Malfiends if I want more dedicated death mages. Meanwhile, Summon Spectre is better if you want a little bit more magic diversity. But since these guys are quite close in value, and they're only 1 level of conjuration research apart, generally it really depends what you want. If you want magic diversity, go for Spectre. If you want just dedicated death mages, go for Malfiends. Another great death option is the Wraith Lord. Now, this guy is an endgame strategy on his own. In a video I made on immortal units, I talked about this guy. He's an immortal, and he's a very good immortal. He has a big fear aura. He has a chill aura. He's, again, immortal, and he's ethereal as well. And only that, he can also summon ghost allies, so you can let him sit in a province for a little while, summon a few ghosts, which are quite good units. They as well are quite powerful and ethereal as well. So he can make up a little posse, and then you can give him some basic gear and let him travel around and cause trouble. And then if he dies, doesn't really matter. He'll come back because he's immortal. So this is an amazing immortal unit, one of the better immortal units, and definitely a big goal if you're going into Death Magic, going up to Conjuration 8. Summoning these guys are probably your best investment of Death Gems, I would say. Another option for your gem investment is Lichcraft. Now, I really don't like Lichcraft in Dominion 6. Dominions 5 used to summon just a Lich unit. So you would just get a new unit, a Lich who was independent, not independent, but he was immortal, and just, you'd have an extra Death Mage, which is great. Now they increased the value of this spell, so you need level 9 research, which is really annoying to get in Dominion 6. And it doesn't actually create a new unit, it transforms the caster into a Lich. So you already need a very powerful undead mage, and use him to become a Lich, which is... It's debatable how useful that is. I mean, I would say unless you're playing a Death Nation that already has big Death Mages, I wouldn't really use this. Because if you're just trying to break into Death, most of your Death Mages are going to be undead themselves. And an undead unit cannot become a Lich. So, he's there. I really don't use Liches much. I'd much rather get the Wraith Lord. This guy's much better immortal unit. And very, very powerful as well. Now let's talk about some cross-path summons. These are summons you can get mixing death with other kind of paths. For example, the Lamia Queen, if you have Death 2 and Nature 5, you can get the Lamia Queen, who's a really great diversity mage. She, I guess the DEI hire of Death Nations. She has Death 2, Nature 1, which is quite good. Good kind of cross paths for summon mannequins and stuff. And she has a lot of magic diversity, including blood magic, as well as the possibility to get up to 4 death, which is pretty uncommon, but, could happen. So if you have a lot of nature gems available and you have these cross paths available, I would, totally summon this. The Lamia Queens are really good. And again, breaking into blood can give you another option in terms of your late game strategy. Just even a little bit of blood magic can go a long way. Another good option is Ether Gate. Now, this is really expensive. It's 90 gems, but you do get the very powerful Ether Lord, who has both Astral 3 and Death 2, which are really good paths, and the possibility of one of these 4 paths as well, Air, Astral, Death, and Blood. So we can give you a little bit of magical diversity, but since this is so expensive, it's debatable how much you want to be casting this, because it's really expensive to get this guy. I would say the Ether Lord is really good, but again, it's a big investment for this guy. So don't really get it unless you think you can really use him. I mean, he's not like that amazing, where I would say he's worth 90 gems, I think. Another option is Streams from Hades. This is another option to give you big death magic. For example, only 4 and 1, 4 water and 1 death. Gives you a 3/3, 3 water, 3 death mage, which is really, really powerful, really, really good. This is a great option to break into higher level death. For example, a nation like, let's say Relay, which often has a lot of water death mages. This could be an option to break into higher level death and expand on land a little bit easier. Relay, especially early age and late age Relay, often has trouble expanding on land. So this could be an option to help you get started building an undead empire on the land while your ocean is kind of secure. Another option, classic one, is the Vampire. Another immortal option as well. Death Magic has a lot of immortal options. This is, of course, blood and death. But again, if you have these cross paths, 96 Blood Slaves is really cheap compared to like 90 Astral Pearls, which are super, super expensive. But I would definitely summon Vampire Lords if you have this available. Like, why not? Again, this guy can be an endgame strategy in himself. If you plan ahead and you set up, for example, your god with these paths of 3 blood, 4 death, you can make your way up into blood magic and eventually start spamming Vampire Lords, which are very, very useful, very, very powerful. And all it takes is one death staff or skull staff for one of these guys so they can reproduce themselves. So you don't need your god constantly summoning them. Another interesting one that I don't summon too much, but he's still pretty cool, is the King of Banefire's Antrax. This is one of the elemental lords, but specifically the Banefire Lord. And he's pretty cool. I like the Death Fire cross path. It's not that common. Machaka is kind of the archetypical Death Fire Nation, the big Banefire Nation. Of course, he can do a lot of Banefire spells. Banefire is a really useful kind of offensive spell. So if you want to use that, it's kind of cool to use. And this guy can very easily cast all of the Banefire spells available. It causes a big damage as well as a huge area of decay effect, which can be really deadly for enemy commanders and so on like that. Speaking of decay, this is the effect that's signature for death magic. Every magic school has kind of their own signature effect. For example, fire tends to cause like heat damage and burns. Electric or air causes stun damage. Water magic has a lot of freezing and cooling damage and things like that. So for death magic, it's decay, which causes the enemy to age and wither very quickly, which for most units doesn't really matter, but for commanders, this can be very, very damaging. So decay is a good spell to target enemy mages and commanders, because once they start withering, they can die very quickly, and it causes a lot more damage than just causing a wither effect on a few random units. Of course, you can get this decay effect from weapons like a Bane Blade, so giving a Bane Blade to some units can make them a good assassin of enemy commanders. He can cause the decay effect on them and really cause a lot of trouble. Same with the Withering Weapons bless as well. Withering Weapons is a kind of controversial bless. Some people say it's great, some people say it sucks. I would say it's good for taking out enemy commanders. If you're playing against a nation that often has very powerful commanders, for example, Hinnom or some nations like that, which have very powerful commanders that might be roaming around the map, if they're using them as a thug or a super combatant. Having a few units with Bane Blades or some kind of Bane fire or decay effect can be really useful in taking those guys out. Now, speaking of other death commanders, we'll talk about some of the generic ones. One of the best ones, in my opinion, is the Shadow Servant. They used to be called the Black Servant, but I guess Illwinter thought that name was a little bit controversial, so they changed it to Shadow Servant. This guy's just a really good Conjuration 1 summon, 5 gems. Conjuration 1, I would say this guy's way better than things like Reanimation, because he's an amazing scout. He has plus 60 stealth, he's ethereal, he's undead, he can go underwater, and he's a spirit. He has Spirit Sight as well, so he can see, for example, invisible units like elves and stuff. This guy's an amazing scout. You can get a couple of these guys very easily if you have a Death Mage and send them out to go scout the map. You can also do some kind of meme strategy with these guys. I really like this guy as just a kind of like meme commander. For example, giving him a Bane Venom Charm can cause disease in the province he's in. So you stick this guy with a Bane Venom Charm on top of an enemy army or in an enemy province, like an enemy city or something, and just cause disease there and really like cause a lot of problems for your enemies, because all their commanders start getting diseased and dying off, and it's really funny to do. You do this if you really want to troll your enemies and make them hate you, but you may not get invited for future games, especially if you're playing like some kind of Discord game where people get really pissy about stuff like this. Another kind of meme option, I don't know how viable this is. I've used this sometimes. I think against players online, this is going to be not that useful, but basically prot maxing these guys. Like go for the maximum early game prot you can with like basically every kind of constructed item, like Black Steel Helmet, Black Steel Plate, Black Steel Shield, and etc. To give them the maximum protection possible and send them off, for example, to some underwater provinces and conquer the ocean. I would say this is a kind of niche meme strategy, especially in a game where there aren't any underwater nations, but there are some underwater provinces that you want to snipe. So you can send this guy to some underwater province, and I think he pretty often, maybe not always, but I think he has a good chance of dealing with fairly generic province defense of just independence there and taking those underwater provinces from the enemy, who may not be able to take them back for a long time if they lack any kind of amphibious units. So I'd say outside that niche strategy or using him as a very weird thug unit, this is not that useful. It's a lot of gem investment for something that's dubious in how good it is, but it is pretty funny. So I've used it a few times to take underwater provinces specifically because this guy's amphibious, but beyond that, it's kind of a meme tier. I definitely like the Bane Venom Charm strategy better, because actually it is a little bit useful, even if it is pretty memey. Another death commander, of course, is the Mound King I mentioned before. This is just your cheapest, easiest access to undead leadership. So if you're having a bunch of undead units, this is your go-to guy who's going to be leading them. A few other death commanders are the Banes. Now, Banes are kind of useful. I don't know. I tend to not really bother with these guys too much. I do like the Revive Bane because he's quite cheap, and he makes a fairly decent little unit. The Bane Lord, he's just a bigger Bane. There's nothing much to really say about him, aside from the fact that he's just a Bane, but bigger, and his stats are like a little bit better. But beyond that, I mean, I feel like with the level of conjuration you need 4 death magic summon him, you need 12 gems. I'd rather just get like a couple Banes, like get like 2 Banes rather than a Bane Lord, because this guy's only marginally better than just the normal Bane. So I'd rather just get a couple Banes. These guys make for nice light thugs. They're fairly cheap. You can equip them with some cheap equipment and use them to go around and take over some really cheap provinces. So they're not bad. Definitely one of these Banes leading a few Wights, for example, could be pretty good. But I definitely go for the Bane over the Bane Lord. I feel like the Bane Lord's a bit of a waste of gems, to be honest. But, you know, whatever. Another kind of meme tier commander is the Harvester of Sorrows. Now, this guy's really expensive. You need Conjuration 7 to get this guy. And he's basically like an improved version of the Shadow Servant. Except he has a built-in disease or a pop kill effect, the Reaper effect, which means he'll kill population. So this guy's really annoying. And you can give him a Bane Venom Charm as well, so to make him even more annoying. So park this guy on top of your enemy army or an enemy fort, and not only will he spread disease, he'll kill population as well, which is really, really annoying. And basically, this is a guaranteed way to make your enemies absolutely hate you. But it's really funny if you can do it. I mean, just up to you. I've done it a few times in some games just as like a troll, but it's a big investment for something that has kind of dubious in value. Again, it's really just if you want to be extremely spiteful to your enemy and make them utterly despise you and loathe you in the game. Lastly, thing I want to talk about is which path to follow in terms of your research. Now, Death Magic has 2 big research trees, Conjuration and Enchantment, and which one you want to focus on depends what you really want to do. Conjuration is where you get most of your not only you get some unit summons, but this is where you're going to get most of your commanders. A few good unit summons you get from the Conjuration tree are the Wights, who are really good units. These guys are very similar to the Bane, except they're a unit. And a couple Wights led by a Bane is a pretty powerful little party of units. And I would say this is a good option for dealing with small province defense or small armies. They're a good way to just they're a good way to project power on the map, and this is one of the few options where I say it's generally good to invest in some units. Ghosts as well, I think, are also quite good. I would say they're a little bit less useful than the Wights, though they are a bit cheaper. And you do get quite a lot of them as well. Ghosts are quite good. They have Fear, they have a Cold Aura, they're stealthy as well. So this is similar to the Wights, except if you want a more stealthy option. For example, if you want to do a little bit of stealth raiding, maybe a group with ghosts in them could be a better option. Maybe led by Spectral Mage or something like that. Since Spectral Mages are stealthy as well, you can have a Spectral Mage lead a small group of ghosts around, and they can go around and do some stealthy raiding. So I quite like both these guys as raiding parties. They're good undead options if you want to get into raiding your enemies. Of course, all the commanders, the best commanders you get are in Conjuration as well. So the Spectral Mage, the Malfiend, the White Lord, and the Shadow Servant. All these guys are going to be coming from the Conjuration tree as well. So if you want to focus on commanders or very strong units, like for raiding, I would say Conjuration is your best bet. And especially if I'm not playing a Death Nation, if I just want to use a little bit of death, I tend to go for Conjuration because I really need mages and I really want to make my gems go as far as possible. So getting more powerful units in smaller groups, generally a little bit better. Now for enchantment, this is really the path you want to go if you already have a strong death nation. For example, if I'm playing a nation that already has like good death mages, good death economy, I might go in enchantment because this is where you get a lot of your more useful spells and a lot of like other units you might want to use. Especially, for example, something like Twiceborn I'd like to highlight. This is a way to turn your death mages into undead white mages, as well as let them come back from the dead if they die. So this is pretty cheap to cast. It doesn't cost that much, and it's a good way to kind of not lose so many of your mages in battle. So you could be a little bit more liberal in how you use them, and if they die, no worries, because they'll come back from the dead. And a lot of other useful spells, of course, Horde of Skeletons, Rigor Mortis, Life After Death, and so on. Lots and lots of other useful things coming from the enchantment tree. But again, this is more if you already have a lot of good death mages in your nation. I would focus on conjuration if you really lack that kind of death magic already. In terms of summoned units, one of the few summoned units I really do like is Reanimate Archers, mainly because these guys all have Banefire bows. And I mentioned how good Banefire is. So again, having these undead archers, they're going to be in the back firing Banefire at the enemy. And these guys can be really useful to decimate enemy armies as well. So I quite like the Banefire Archers. In terms of other things like the Horsemen or just the Long Dead, maybe not so much, but a lot of these other guys are quite good. Now, Thaumaturgy I also mentioned as well. These have a lot of more interesting and unique death spells. For example, Plague, which can cause a lot of damage in some enemy province. It causes a lot of disease, which again, it can be very damaging for some enemies who, maybe they have a lot of old man mages. A lot of mages tend to be old, so the disease will really hurt them. Undead Mastery. If you're fighting another death nation, you could build up some death mages to actually counter them. So for example, if I'm playing against a very powerful death nation, and I'm not really a big death nation myself, I can buff up a few mages and get them to use Undead Mastery to counter them. Same with something like Wither Bones. These two spells can be used to counter enemy death mages. So even if your death magic is not that strong, if you have at least a couple good death mages, you can send them out there to use these kind of spells and deal with enemy death nations who might be more strong, powerful than you. Terror, of course, is pretty good. This causes a big fear effect in a large area. Stygian Paths is a kind of teleporting spell. You can teleport your army about 10 provinces. It's pretty far, but you do have a risk of getting lost or some units getting lost in the process. But again, this is a pretty good way to travel around the map and, for example, do a surprise attack on someone. Burden of Time is a kind of iconic Urmor spell. It basically causes the whole world to decay. Death scales go up all around the world, population starts to decline, and all units start aging incredibly fast. So for nations that don't have like undead mages or immortal mages or really long-lived mages, this is going to cause them to all die out or get really old very, very quickly and then start dying of like disease and stuff. So Burden of Time is very damaging. And this is something you either cast when you basically already won the game and just want to kind of finish everyone off, or if you want everyone to absolutely hate you and gang up on you, because this is a way to get everyone to immediately gang up on you. Some other magic as well. Death has a lot of thugging spells for raiding and so on like that. For example, Soul Vortex, Darkness, and Vulnerability. These are all great options. For example, a Wraith Lord to cast. Soul Vortex will drain nearby units to heal himself. Invulnerability, again, gives you the invulnerability, so you can take resist a lot more damage. Darkness will usually not affect undead. Almost all undead have like dark vision, but it will hurt a lot of enemy armies who don't have dark vision. So if you can cast darkness on the map and then start killing everyone, that could be a big advantage for you. Another interesting death option is Tartarian Gate. This, again, is another option for late game. This could be an end game option for you. It really requires a lot of setup to be useful. Usually when you summon these Tartarian Titans, they kind of suck. They just are a unit, or they're mindless or something, so they're kind of useless. So it's a lot of investment for something that's kind of junk. But there are ways to get around it. For example, you can give them a Shroud of the Battle Saint and take certain blesses with your god, so Mending Bones or Reforming Flesh. This will allow them to heal, as in if they have a regeneration ability, as well as heal afflictions. For example, if you have a commander that is mindless, that will eventually heal and he'll become a very powerful mage. You can see how powerful some of these guys can be. Like huge number of magic paths, basically every magic path in the game except blood magic available to them. These guys become amazingly powerful super combatants. With a little bit of work, you can make these guys very, very powerful. And again, this is something you want to plan for early game, because if you want to do this kind of stuff, you really have to think about it when you first start the game and think, okay, I want to go Titans eventually, so I want to go into these kind of blesses and so on. But if you do that, it could be a very powerful option. But this is also something that's so common that I think a lot of people kind of expect it. But again, it is really good. So it's still something I think is worth doing. Another kind of interesting sort of meme option for late game summons is the Eater of the Dead. Now this guy's not really that great. He's a unit, so he's not that useful in terms of just destroying things. One thing you can do with him, though, is kind of memed here. There's a very famous 4chan post about this guy where someone gave him divine name and a ton of gear and made him into a really powerful commander. I think they also made him a prophet too. So he was like a holy 3 priest as well. So very, very scary kind of unit. And the thing that's scary about this guy is he will actually grow bigger the more units he kills and eventually break free and become an independent rampaging sort of destructive entity on the map. So he will just endlessly get more and more powerful as time goes on, as he consumes other units. And in the 4chan post I was thinking of, if I can find it, I'll post it on the screen as well here. But in that case, I think it was from Dominions 3, but he buffed this guy up so much, and when he broke loose, he just started rampaging around the map and became totally unkillable. So that was pretty funny. But I do like this guy as a bit of a meme. I mean, he's really expensive and not that useful and not that valuable. I like him mostly when I'm already kind of like on the back foot of the game. I'll summon one of these guys and make him like really scary, give him like magic resist and like copper arms and all kinds of bullshit like that, and then just let him loose to rampage around, to troll everyone after I get killed in the game or if I'm already losing the game. So this is kind of something troll-ish, I think. It's not that great, but it is pretty funny. Now let's talk about boosting death magic. Let's say you start with nothing. You find a province with some bone readers or something like that, and you want to start boosting up your death magic for your nation. Now this assumes you don't have a god who has death magic. Maybe you didn't take death magic on your god, but you found a nice little province, so you want to start getting a little bit of death magic. The first step is taking your bone reader, and he's only death 1, but he can start site searching. So eventually he might find some sites. He can also use dark knowledge. Conjuration 3 with death 1 and 4 gems, he can site search remotely, and this will find all death sites in a province, so this is also a pretty good option. It is 4 gems, which is a bit of an investment, but every site you find will return that investment eventually, so I would say using this in a limited way, maybe searching some provinces you think might have death sites like wastelands or swamps or other places which often tend to have death sites. I would start using this one, and also just site searching in general, but maybe use this a little bit to search some provinces you think could have a high likelihood of having death sites, and just site searching everywhere else. Eventually, when you build up a decent supply of gems, you can use them to empower your death mage until he's death 2. With death 2, he can make a skull staff, which will boost him up to death 3. With death 3, he can use summon Mound Fiend, which is a native death 3 mage. And if you give this Mound Fiend the skull staff, this will make the Mound Fiend death 4. Then you can either empower this guy again, make him death 5. With death 5, he can make a skull face to be death 6. And that's probably the highest you're going to be able to get from nothing. So going from 0 to death 6 is a pretty long climb, but it is possible. And of course, you don't actually need to have death 6. You can stop at whatever point you want, but this just shows that you can get quite high going from basically nothing. And with this guy, you could summon a bunch of death mages. You can summon a bunch of other death mages like spectral mages, more Mound Fiends, etc., and build up a fairly decent little death economy. Now, you're never going to compete with the full-on death nations if you have nothing, but you can have a nice death supplement. And again, this just gives you more flexibility in the late game in all the ways that I mentioned before. So that was death magic, you guys. A lot of information about that. But let's get into a game here. This is a game I was playing as Mekone. I did start with death on my god, but otherwise Mekone is a nation that has no access to death magic. And we'll see how I'm kind of playing it and go into a little bit about how you can actually start breaking into death and make it useful for your gameplay, especially as you get into the late game, when a lot of the early game strategies of just having big armies and elemental magic tend to fall off pretty hard. All right, so here we are in a game I was playing before. Now, I chose Mekone for this game, specifically because they don't really have any innate death magic available to them. Now, I did decide to take death magic on my god. I took death, nature, and glamour. I figured these are all pretty good paths to kind of help Mekone out. Mekone has pretty strong elemental magic. They have basically every elemental school available to them, though especially earth and fire, and pretty decent air as well, and a little bit of water, but at least they have access to all of them. When it comes to any of the astral paths, death, nature, glamour, and astral, they don't have any access to those normally. So I usually like to take at least a couple of those on a god just to give a little bit more diversity. And death and nature are both pretty good paths, I think, which complement Mekone pretty well. That offers them a lot of different things here. Now you can see I've spent a lot of the game gem searching. searching for gem sites. I'm very intense about my gem site searching. And early age, you tend to get a lot of gem sites as well. You can see I have tons and tons of them all over these provinces. But it's so important to the game that I always try to just do it constantly, even if it means sacrificing some research or whatever. It's always worth it to pick up more gem sites. You can see my gem income is pretty good. My death income is actually quite good as well. Now, when it came to finding early death mages, I did start with Death of My God, but he is a inanimate statue, so he can't go around searching. I did get him to cast Dark Knowledge a few times for certain areas, just to kind of see, for example, the swamp. You can see I searched here. That's because swamps tend to often have death sites, though it's not like they only can have them. You can see I have lots of death sites all around here, like right here, Sleepy Woods has 2 death sites. But using that a few times is no big deal. It's a pretty short range. It only has a range of 3 provinces, I think. So only this immediate area around my capital I can actually use to search that. And again, I don't want to use it too much because every cast is like 4 gems. So I use it a few times just to kind of check some areas. And once I'm kind of done with that, I'll let some death mages go search. So the way I got death mages in this game, specifically I found this province of Cenophalians right next to my starting location. And the Cenophalian shamans have a 1 in 3 chance to start with death magic. So I've not been terribly lucky with getting a lot of death mages from these guys. You can see all these guys here are like astral, nature, a bunch of random things like that. So not amazing. The death mages I did get, I think I sent most of them out to go explore. I don't really know where they are, to be honest. There must be, here's one. Okay, so there's one of them. Some of them I sent out to go site search and stuff. I just sent them to auto site search after I was kind of done securing my main area, so they can kind of go check out these other areas I'm taking over in different parts of the map. But that basically covered me for death mages. Other options could have been, for example, this province had Wolf Tribe. Oh, sorry, not this one. Which one did? I think it was this one. Yeah, this one did. So this province had Wolf Tribe, and Wolf Tribe has a 10% chance of death magic, which is not great. Definitely the 30% chance on the Cenophalians is better. So that's also another option if I was pretty limited. Other than that, I really didn't find many provinces that have death mages. I can look underground as well. I don't have that many underground provinces. This one is, oh, okay, this guy's looking here. I don't know what he's doing there. Looking for, I should have him look for sites, not just hang around. But this one, I think, is just Pale Ones. I have another province underground with Cenophalians as well, this one. And this guy's building something here. And then I have this one, which I think is just, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is Lava Men, Lava Born. All right, so we got a few guys. Oh, here's one of my other guys here. All right, so as I said, I'm playing Mekone, and I'm just really starting to get into the death magic, actually building up some death magic so far. Previously, I mostly used my death gems for some minor summons, mainly summoning a few commanders. So I have a few of these guys, the spectral mages, hanging around. Here's a few of them sneaking around here. I'm going to try to send them somewhere else. And I have a few others somewhere else, which I'm not really sure where they are. Right now, I'm summoning Mound Fiends. I have one Mound Fiend here. I'm going to summon another one with my god in a minute. That's because I just recently got to Conjuration 7. That's where I can get Mound Fiends. So I'm going to start building up a few of these guys and build a small group of death mages who can go out and do some death magic. Now, I'm doing pretty well in this game. Most of my rivals are dead. There's Pangea used to be here. They got crushed. Underground is Pyrene, and they're really like on the last legs. They got just these 3 provinces, and I'm going to try to crush them pretty soon. And then the last one, I guess, is Relay, who's in the ocean, which I've not really even touched at all. And then there's also Niflheim, which I could start pushing in pretty soon. But we'll see what we can do here. I need to find some armies. I have armies just all over the place. I don't really know what they're doing. So far, I've been playing mostly a very basic Mekone strategy, where I just have like either I think this is just a big army of Gigantes, and I have some armies of Gigantes and the Helot pikemen and so on, as well as different kind of thugs flying around. So these 2 are my 2 flying thugs. This guy actually is just a cloud trapeze. He has air 2, so he can cloud trapeze wherever he wants to go. And these 2 guys are just going around to fight stuff. Actually, let's see this battle. Even though it's not related to death magic, we can kind of see how this battle went. So actually, this guy landed. He landed before the other guy because he used cloud trapeze, and he just fought some province defense. So he actually fought the first battle, and then I think Niflheim moved in the same turn and fought again against him, as well as the other guy, the Cyclops. He's not really taking any damage, which is good. His defense is really, really high. Okay, it took him long enough to kill the guy. That was pretty slow. I think because I don't really have an ideal weapon for him, I gave him this lightning spear, which is not really amazing for dealing with big groups. I probably should get him something better. This guy, I think, has a frost brand, which is a little bit better because it has an area of effect. But let's see the second battle there. That was when both of them came up. So these Nephil units came and attacked, and these two fought them off. And you can see the Elder Cyclops is way more effective. I need to get a better weapon for this Archon guy. Okay, where are they? They're back here. Okay, there we go. So again, pretty simple battle. Now, it doesn't have much to do with death magic, but I have been using my death gems and my death commanders to craft items using death magic. For example, this guy has the Crown of Whispering Dead, which is a death glamour item, and it has a nightmare aura. This is one of the newer items in Dominion 6 that I quite like. It's a interesting weapon, interesting helmet for thugs. Another good option is the horror helmet. I think I have another guy somewhere around here with the horror helmet, which just gives him a fear effect. But this is an interesting one because it has this nightmare aura. And what this does is when enemies come within the aura, they will take false damage. So as long as there's a glamour manipulator, like whoever's wearing this helmet can sustain glamour magic. So whenever they're in this aura, they take damage and they will eventually like pass out and die. So even the false damage can kill them. So this is a cool, interesting kind of thing because it has this extra aura of torment around them. It also kind of stuns different enemies because of the nightmares and so on. So it's usually pretty good. I quite like it as an option. And the mix of glamour and death gems is pretty nice because they don't have to invest so many death gems only. In general, I have a pretty good supply of death gems. So let's just continue. I don't have much else to do this turn. I don't remember what else I'm doing. I wonder if we should start attacking Niflheim a little bit more. Right now, I think I have a peace agreement with them, so I probably have to renege on that. But maybe what I'll do is I'll finish off Pyrene first, and then I'll start moving into Niflheim. I got to get these armies out of here. These armies are kind of just like wandering around and rearrange some things a little bit more. So underground, I have a battle going on soon against this fort. I'm going to see if I can capture this fort and then take out the remainder of Pyrene's kind of empire here. But let's end the turn here. We're going to start building up our death army as well. Struck Shadow, straight in the heart. Shadow survived the instant. Okay, someone's shooting like arrows at me constantly. Someone a Mound Fiend, great. Search there, search there. Alright, a lot of things here. Battle in this Caverns, pretty good. Alright, yeah, so just they're going to take the fortress pretty soon. And they'll probably crush it pretty easily. Alright, so we have a lot of fights. Oh my god, a big army out of here. I should probably get out of here with these guys. I think I'm going to move these guys out because I do not really want to get crushed by a huge army. And they may decide to invade this province. I put a lab here so I can cloud trapeze my Archon out. But I'm going to have these guys fly back to the mainland over here. I just wanted to come attack this province because I saw it was all Relay, owned by Relay. But I see that Niflheim is moving there, so I think I'm going to get out of here for now. Let's get this guy to cloud trapeze out. And we'll send him somewhere else. Let's send him back to Pangaea. We'll get him some new equipment too. So another thing I need to start doing is investing in some better equipment. Let's get these armies out of here. We'll link these guys up with some death mages. Oh, I got a bunch of armies around here just doing whatever. I don't know what these guys are doing. Let's start building up some other armies. Oh, I got a lot of guys I've been recruiting here. I kind of forgot to do anything with these guys. Let's throw these guys together. Let's put these guys there and some drakes. I don't know what to do with these fire drakes. Let's give them to one of my commanders here. So first of all, let's see if I can give one of these guys a skull staff. I don't think I'm going to give it to him. I think I'm going to give it to one of these shadow mages, these spectral mages I moved over here. So let's give it to this guy. This guy's pretty good. He has nice cross paths of water, astral, and death. Give him a death too. We'll give him a little bit more options for things. So I'll bring these guys together. These guys can start doing some different things too. And what we might start doing is getting a few units. We're going to build up an undead army a little bit. So I mentioned before that I don't usually like to summon lots of death units. However, I feel like a lot of the units offered in Conjuration are quite good. For example, actually I might get a Bane to have a undead leader, which could be pretty nice. But let's get a few things first. I think I'm going to summon some ghosts for now. Let's have both these guys. Can this guy summon ghosts as well? Ooh, he cannot. He can do Spirit Mastery, however, which is not bad. I actually quite like Spirit Mastery because you get a lot of these ghosts, and I find it a lot better than the Long Dead. Even though ghosts are pretty flimsy, I still quite like them. And I don't think I'm recruiting anything here. I'm just recruiting mages. So let's get a few units for these guys. They can stay here for a few turns. We'll start building up some other armies and get these guys all together as well. What's this guy doing? Ritual spell. I think I need to start researching something else. So I've got Construction 7 coming up. After that, I'm going to start leveling Thaumaturgy. If I can get up to... Leprosy would be pretty good. Worldwide Unrest. I would like Leprosy. That would be nice to cast on some enemy provinces. Same with Plague, too. This would be more in battle. But if I can get to at least up to 5 or 6... Let me see what kind of spells they have. Terror would be good if I can get to 4. That might be good. So let me see what other kind of things I might need. I'm kind of forgetting what are the key spells I want. I already have Enchantment 5. So I have Horde of Skeletons already ready to go. What else might be nice for death magic? Rigor Mortis could be good. If I can build a full death army, I could cast Rigor Mortis and hopefully deal with a lot of the enemies. That could be nice. So maybe we'll go for Enchantment 6, and then I'm going to go up to Thaumaturgy 4 to get Terror. That'll be pretty good. So that'll give me a lot of options. I already have Horde of Skeletons. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So that'll give me pretty good battle magic once I can get these guys up and going a little bit. Okay, let's get these guys. I'm going to get these guys to keep making Skull Staves. Oh, no. Let's not do that for now. There we go. So let's get both of these guys. Don't have enough magic gems. Okay, that's fine. So what we will do in the meantime is alchemize a little bit. I just realized I have an insane number of nature gems. I have so many nature gems. My nature gem income is crazy. So I'm actually going to dump a lot of these nature gems because I'm not really using them that much and I don't really have any big nature mages. And I'm going to put them back into death gems. Reinvest them into death gems. Actually, I could probably use all these astral pearls because, again, I'm not really using any astral magic at all. I don't have a single astral mage, so I don't really mind losing those astral pearls. And I am getting a lot of astral pearls right now, like 7 per turn, which is a lot. But I'm getting 12 nature gems per turn. I should probably see if I can get anybody to start casting some nature spells. Maybe this guy. My god is the only one with actually decent nature magic. So we could try to get something else. I do wish I could move him somewhere else. And we'll hoard Ivy King. You know what? Let's get an Ivy King. That'll be pretty good. Let's get that, because that'll give me another big nature mage. I think Ivy Kings are nature 3, so I'll have another nature mage to go to do some nature spells. And I'm getting these guys. Let's get both these guys to make death staves, which is what I want to do, so they can all both be death 2. Though I'd like both of these guys to be death 2 as well. And what about this guy? Can this guy, he's summoning a ghost? How much is it to summon another specter? Spectral mage. Let me see. Where does that? Summon specter is 3 death. So I need either one of these guys to do it. Maybe I'll get one of these guys to make the skull staff, and the other guy can summon a spectral mage, which will be pretty good. I could do another mound fiend. I don't know which is better, to be honest. You know, let's go for another mound fiend. Mound Fiends, because I just want death magic. I don't really need the magic diversity that these guys have. So I don't know if I really want to get too many more of these guys. Maybe later I can. Having the astral magic is kind of nice, but just one astral is not amazing. Either way, I'll get a few Mound Fiends and we can multiply these guys. Actually, you know what? Let's get both these guys to do Mound Fiend right now. Summon Mound Fiend, summon Mound Fiend. We'll start multiplying our Mound Fiends and get a fairly strong army of death mages. And we'll get these guys to do... oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We'll get these guys to summon just some units. Some ghosts. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. All right, and we'll start building up our armies here. I have so much money I don't even know what to do with. I should start, like, I don't know, buying stuff. These guys are recruiting something. Just keep recruiting units there. I think there's no units being recruited here. I can get some of these guys to start casting some stuff. To be honest, I only have this kind of earth magic, so it's not too much I can do. I should start trying to get some higher level earth magic. For example, this might be pretty good. All magic items have their gem cost reduced by 20%. All magic crafts, if they have the ability Master Smith, that could be really nice too. Getting more crafted stuff. I would need how many more earth magic for this? This guy has 3 right now. So I need 5, I guess. So let's make him something. Let's make something with that. I think he can make some earth boots right now. Earth boots, and what else could we make? Anything else? I think all the other earth boosters, I need some kind of cross path to get it. So we'll wait a minute. That's fine. Let's just end the turn. Don't really need to do much right now. I may or may not have a battle with Niflheim anytime soon. Oh, okay. So I got attacked by this group of trolls and stuff. Wherever that is. Group of heroes died to rid this province of rulership. Alright, so still some time going there. Okay, yeah, not much going on. Let's go out of here. So we got a lot of things brewing around here. Let's keep recruiting these guys. Oh, I can't recruit anything there. I guess that's unrest is too high. Okay, this guy's back home. Let's send him over here. And I think we'll make a new weapon for this guy. I'm not a big fan of this spear he has. Let's see if we can make something else. Whenever I can level up my construction, I can start making the Flame brand, which is a little bit better than the Frost brand. In the meantime, I think I'm going to start kitting out a few more of these thugs. So we'll get a few more big thug guys to go out. Like this guy could be pretty good. So let's get a lot of these. We'll make a whole set of armor for him. So I know this is not really going... Like, it's not really sounding like death magic right now, but it does play a role in this in that I can get some of these guys to start crafting some death items. So, for example, I have a lot of these Mound Fiends. Let's get these guys to make some death items. This is not too much. That would be useful. Like, the Wraith Sword is pretty good. I don't know. I do like something with an area effect a little bit better. Let's just make a horror helmet for the time being. Actually, there's nothing much I can really make right now. What about this guy? Forge a magic item. We'll make him... I quite like the glamour items, to be honest, when it comes to fighting and stuff. I think once I get to level 7, I'll unlock a few better items. In the meantime, I'm going to have these guys summon a few more of the... Let's get a few more of these. We're going to have at least 2 more Mound Fiends. Okay, there we go. Let's get 2 more Mound Fiends here. Summon Mound Fiend and... Ooh, barely not enough. Okay, so I can do 1 more Mound Fiend, that's fine. I don't want to alchemize too much. I'm going to very quickly run out of all my gems. Okay, so let's get these guys going. This guy, what can he do? Cast Ritual Spell, he can do a lot. If I can get Lamia Queen, that'd be nice, but I think that's Conjuration 8. So I have to level up a little bit more, maybe later. It's not a big deal. This guy can do a lot of stuff too. We're going to start building up a big force here anyways. And then we're going to move on into some other things. Actually, you know what? Getting some equipment for this guy would be quite nice. See if anything really good. Can make a Vine Shield. Let's make a Vine Shield. Why not? We'll get this guy to make some stuff. I'm already making a helmet. We need some armor. Chainmail Displacement could be pretty nice. I quite like this. Gonna get that. And let's get a few of these guys to start making some things as well. So we have our armor, we have our helmet, we have a shield. We need a weapon. It's a good weapon. I could get one of these water guys to make a frost brand, like this guy. Let's just do that for the time being, because we don't have too many options for weapons at the moment. Could do Sword of Swiftness, could be also pretty nice. Like this is also not a bad option. But I think I'll just go with Frostbrand again. Let's make a Frostbrand for this guy. And what else can we make? Let's make some trinkets. Oh, we need some boots too. Wing shoes is nice. I don't think I have enough air gems for that though. Could go for something else in the meantime. Maybe earth boots. or stone, boots of stone. Let's go with that, actually. That'll be nice. And what trinkets can we make? Let's see. Girdle of Might might be not bad. I do like the dancing shield, but I don't have enough gems for it. So let's get a Girdle of Might, and then maybe next turn we can maybe make a dancing shield. So you know what? Let's I got an idea. Let's do something else. I'm going to alchemize a little bit, get an extra air gem, and let's just make the dancing shield, because I quite like this a lot. Okay, that's pretty good. And we should have almost a full set. I think we don't have a shield, right? Like an actual shield. So let's get one of these guys to craft something in a minute. I don't think there's any death shields, right? So there's none like that. Okay, let's see who can actually make something. One of these guys make something too. I think I already have, you know what? I think I already have a charcoal shield. That'll be good enough, because that gives a fire aura. That's pretty good. So let's get these armies to start moving around. I mean, these armies are just like big armies of random shit. Let's start filling up these armies with these guys. Geez, tons of these guys. Let's start lining these guys up. Do a double line there. Just some of these helots in front, and let's get a line right here in front with the gigantes. All right, that's pretty good. So these guys can all hold an attack. That's pretty good. And these guys, the helots, can just fire. All right, that's pretty good. So this is just a very basic little army setup. And we'll send out some other mages. We got to start sending out some battle mages with these guys. So I think we'll send this guy out. This guy can join them. And we'll get him to start summoning some stuff as well. So let's get actually some of these other guys who are not doing much. Get them to start summoning things. Let's get a few more death gems in the meantime. I'm going to sacrifice more of my nature gems, because I'm really not using much of them. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know what else would be worth alchemizing. Maybe water. I'm not using water that much either. Just because always a lot of investment to do this. It's very expensive to alchemize things. But let's get these guys to start summoning stuff. Cast ritual spell. Okay, we'll summon some wights and a ghost as well to get a little bit more undead. And I think these guys were summoning something as well. What was this guy summoning? This guy was summoning ghosts last turn too. Let's do a little bit more alchemizing. I'm going to run out of all my gems here just trying to do this. We'll get this guy to summon a few more ghosts. That'll be pretty good. Summon ghosts, that's fine. And then we can move these guys into this province and start building up our little bit of undead army here. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's end the turn. Battle in the Endless Caverns. Our forces defeated the attacking force. Let's see how this battle went. So I have a pretty small army here against like 300 units. But you could see, geez, the Gigante hoplites really cleaned up. Like, Gigante against just normal units are really good. You need, like, mages to counter them, to be honest. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Cleaned up entirely. Yeah, the Elder Cyclops killed a lot, and the Gigante Hoplites killed a huge number of units. Like 4 deaths to 147 kills. That's pretty crazy. Battle in Pangaea. All right. Barbarians attacking Pangaea. Oh, we got a new guy. King of Paline. This guy is our immortal unit that Mekone gets. Specifically, Dominion Immortality, so it means he's immortal within the Dominion of Mekone. Okay, so what was I doing here? I wanted to start leveling up some of my mages. Now, I want to see if any of my archons ended up getting fairly high earth magic. Sometimes you can get an archon that's pretty lucky that has like 3 or 4 earth magic. This guy's pretty good. He has 3 earth magic. I made some earth boots earlier. I'm going to give it to him. So he has 4 earth magic now. And let's see if I can level up his earth magic a little bit more. What other items? I don't think I have any other items that can level earth magic. I believe anything else that can increase earth magic is going to be a crosspath item, but I can't remember right now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all these Mound Fiends go to reanimate in the meantime, so they can start reanimating long dead warriors. We'll get all these guys to just do this continuously. Actually, sorry, I should set this to a monthly order. Let's turn off this guy, the Spectral Mage. There. Reanimate long dead warriors. Get all these guys to sit here doing that. And this guy can just do whatever. I don't know. He's not really doing much. Actually, what I might do in a turn or two is make another Skull Staff for this guy. That way both of these Spectral Mages can have a Skull Staff available. I would like to see if I can summon a couple more Spectral Mages because they are nice for their magic diversity. Oops, look like a lot of units building up there. I guess that is just... this is just Relay. So Relay builds up a lot of crap in their oceans. So that's kind of understandable. I would like to take this this throne eventually too. There's a few thrones left. I have 2 thrones I've claimed. What was I doing? Oh yeah, these guys I need to actually move south. I want to go claim the southern throne. I have this guy who's my prophet. Let's just leave this guy here. I'm just going to keep moving the prophet south. And eventually I'll get to this throne and claim it. He's pretty slow. I should have made one of my faster units into a prophet. Alright, so not much else I can really do. I would like to do Forge of the Ancients, but I need 1 more level of Earth Magic. Now, I could empower this guy. How much would it cost to empower him? 60 is actually not bad. Let's actually do that. I'm going to empower this guy, and that should give him enough. I still have a lot of Earth Gems left. That should give him enough to cast Forge of the Ancients, which will be really useful for me crafting shit. What else was I doing? I was going to equip one of these guys with all of this gear. There we go. And, oh yeah, Vine Shield, that's good. So this is a pretty decent little setup for another Thug unit. He's pretty nice. So we'll send this guy out. Now, he's not flying, unfortunately, but we can start mass producing these guys. I don't want to invest too much in the gems, but having a bunch of these guys around is quite nice. I was going to make a better weapon for this guy, that's right. So what I might do is let's craft a new weapon for him. We'll see what could be useful for that guy. I don't really know. I could give him the Flame Brand instead, which might be pretty good. He does have the Mirror of Illusions, which is really nice. Let's see, who else can craft something decent? A lot of these guys can't really craft anything that great for a weapon. Maybe I'll just wait till I get to Construction 7, because I'm pretty close. Maybe another 2 turns and I'll be at Construction 7. Then I can get a lot of the much, much better kind of things. I do want all these guys to be doing stuff. Now, I've kind of out of Death Gems now. I'm going to start summoning some other things in the meantime. Lamia Queen, this is nice. So Death and Nature. So let's do this. So I do have enough for Lamia Queen now. Let's summon a Lamia Queen. That'll be pretty good. Again, getting more Death Mages is always very good. Okay, I don't know what these guys to do. I don't really know what to do with these Assassin guys. They're at this point in the game, they're not really great, especially against Niflheim. They tend to die against the Nifl Giants. Okay, and underground, I'm doing something, right? Ooh, this army is a little bit on its last legs here. Oof, pretty rough. Now, I would like to conquer this place soon. I might have to send another army down there. So we have another group moving down. I think we'll send these 2 groups of just like units down there. And maybe we'll send a few mages as well. So let's send in some of these mages in addition. Maybe we'll give this guy a charcoal shield. I don't know. Actually, I don't think I'll bother. Let's just give him a few gems. His paths are not great. I don't really like his paths there, to be honest, because he can't really do a lot. Let's just send a lot of these Earth 2 guys down there. I'm going to take the quill from this guy, though, and I'll give it to someone else. And let's send these Earth 2 guys down into the pit to hopefully help support this army here. Yeah, that'll be good. So these guys can all do things like use Earth Power and summon some Earth Elementals, maybe. That'll be pretty nice. All right, pretty good. So that's decent. We'll send a few more mages to support down there. The rest of these guys can stay up here. Hopefully I can start getting some good Archons. I'm kind of getting a lot of shit luck with Archons lately. And I don't know what to do with these guys. I guess just get these guys to hang out for now. They're not really doing much. I'll do something with them later. I don't really have much to do with them. I could try to conquer Pangea's last little fort there. So maybe that'll be a good idea. Maybe let's do that. I can fly both these guys out there. And do a cloud trapeze. Do I have enough gems for that? I think I do. Oh, no, I don't. So let's wait a turn. I think this guy could take whatever province defense is hiding out here. And we'll get another one of these guys to go cloud trapeze out. Maybe what we can do is buff up another one of these in the meantime. I'll start forging some new things for this guy. Let's forge some boots, earth boots, and then the flame helmet is something else I want to make. Let's get this guy to make a flame helmet. There we go. So that'll give this guy a pretty decent stat. So I give this guy flame helmet and earth boots. That gives him 2-2-2, which is a lot better than 2-1-1 that he had before that this guy has. So that makes him fairly decent. We'll give this guy a charcoal shield as well. We'll make some gear for him in a minute. Let's see what kind of gear we can make. Okay, this guy's making earth boots. What other gear can we make in the meantime? Give him some basic stuff. I don't know what kind of weapon to give him. We'll think of something. Ooh, this is nice. Let's maybe make this. I need earth 2 and fire 1. So let's get one of these guys to do it. Elemental armor is pretty good, and I get a discount for it as Mekone. Let's also make a Girdle of Might for some reinvigoration. And what else would be nice? Would like some kind of water items. Let's get this guy to make something. Or do I have a water? I have a water type. This guy. So let's make something like this. Temporary water gems. Let's see what else. I think the liquid water, the bottle of liquid water, which would be great to have, is not available yet. I think I need level 7 to get that one. Not really a lot I can actually make right now, which is unfortunate. I could make a dancing shield, but I don't have enough gems for that. We'll see. Maybe a flask of holy water could be good. Let's make that. That'll be not bad. Okay, we'll make that for him, and we'll get some gear kind of going out in a minute. A lot of these other guys are busy making stuff. What else am I missing? I have a shield for him. I have armor. I have a helmet. I have boots. I have trinkets. I have no weapon. That's the last thing I need. I need a weapon for him. So we'll make something, I guess. Maybe make a frost brand. That'll be pretty good. And then we're pretty much set up. That'll be good for another one of these guys to go out. So I'll have another little thug. And I thought I had another guy. This guy is doing something. I don't know what he's doing. He can go... Maybe he can go down here and support this battle, because I need more support down there. Okay, let's end the turn. Battle in Wicker Woods. Okay, yeah. So he had no problems dealing with that. And we'll send these armies down into the depths here. As well as these guys join in the army. Perfect. Okay, that's good. And we'll send this guy into here as well. Okay, and we'll get these two to go join up with our little buddy over there. There we go. So nice setup for him. We'll get him to cloud trapeze into there. And you know what? I'm going to give him some gems as well. This will give both these guys a few gems. Let's give these guys each a few earth and fire gems. Maybe not too many. Just like 3. I have more fire gems than earth gems, so we'll just do one or the other. Okay, good. Pretty nice. Let's get both of these guys to cloud trapeze in. Okay, so both these guys can drop in. Now we do need to get some kind of army out here. So this might be the chance to use some undead. Start doing that. I could start building up. These guys are all reanimating. Oh, we got a Lamia Queen with 3 death is really, really nice. That's really good. And a little bit of blood magic, which is not bad. So let's get this guy to make something. Magic item. Let's get him to make a skull staff in the meantime. And we'll get our other little guy doing something too. Let's see what else we can cast. Let's keep casting some things. Lamia Queen. Let's get more Lamia Queens. I really like Lamia Queens. Or maybe an Ivy King? I don't know. Ooh, I'm running low on my nature gems now, so I can't do too many. We'll see what would be good. I would like to build up a bigger army of just like stuff to use. So getting more mages is good. I don't really want to waste time on a bunch of crap. The Mandarogas could be quite nice. Actually, mannequins and Mandarogas. So maybe making those would be nice. How many would I get? 10 for these? Let's actually do that. I'm going to get Mandarogas, and we'll get the Lamia Queen. Can she do any of these as well? She can do mannequins, which is okay. So she can do that. All right, that'll be good. And we'll build up a nice undead force. And this will be my big group of undead warriors here. We'll get this guy to do something too. Maybe get this guy to keep summoning forest giants. And I'm not sure if this guy is inanimate or not. I don't think so. Oh, he can summon actually extra Vinemen. That might be kind of nice. So I wonder if I should just do that. Cast a ritual spell, summon Vinemen. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's not worth it. I'd rather just do forest giants because it's only 2. And the forest giants are generally pretty beefy and nice. Okay, pretty good. Let's keep building up these armies here. Here we go. And, oh, I have a few other armies around here too. Let's get these guys to go around. Okay, there we go. Now, this guy, I remembered I was sending him somewhere. Where did he go? This guy. I'm sending him to this, this throne to go claim it. I might have to see if I can kill this guy off, because he's so slow. I want someone who can move around faster and actually do stuff. So what are these guys doing? Reanimating, reanimating. Okay, not bad. Don't know what I'm doing here. Let's keep throwing these units into this army. And make sure everybody's actually researching. I think I have a lot of people who are not researching anything. How many does this guy have? 5 now? Can he do this ritual I want to do? 4 Gianches. He can with 80 gems, which I do not have. I'll have to wait a little bit. But at least he can cast it now, which is not bad. So let's get him to research for the time being. We'll get everybody just to do research for now. And we'll keep building up these 2. We'll send them out pretty soon. Actually, you know what? I might as well just send them out. I don't know where to send them. Send them out of here somewhere. Get this guy to research again. Yeah, everybody's researching. Good. Okay, pretty nice. Once we build up a decent little undead army, we can start sending them out to actually cause some trouble, which will be pretty good. Let's throw these ghosts in with this guy. And these wights as well. Oof. This guy can actually only contain 1 army, so we'll just give him the ghosts for now. Let's give these to someone else. Who else can lead undead? You know what? Our Lamia Queen can actually lead undead. So let's get her some of these armies. And as for these, let's start throwing these into someone as well. Who else can lead undead? Okay, this guy can. He can lead a bunch of these guys. All right, pretty good. We'll build up a fairly decent undead army and then really like destroy everything. What I should do now is start building more forts around. If I can find some other good locations for forts, I might start throwing them up. Actually, this one I should start improving. I need a mage out here to come actually work on this. So let's send someone out there to go deal with it and start building up that fort. Maybe I'll build another fort like right here. This might be a good spot. I am building one underground eventually. Whenever this is done, it'll be built. So maybe I'll build a fort there as well. Let's get some of these guys to actually go back to work, researching. And we'll send a mage down into the pit. Let's send 2 mages down into the pit. Down here. We'll send them down into this cave and they can go do some research and stuff. Send another guy over here. Actually, that'll be a bit easier. So maybe let's keep these guys here to research. And send 2 of these guys out. They can go underground, and they can work on that fort underground there. We might build another fort like right here, or like right here might be a good spot. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because I don't really need the terrain or anything. I just want them to be fairly spaced out so I don't like destroy all my income, because Mekone tends to have a lot of problems with unrest. So just to avoid that a little bit. So maybe putting a fort like right here would be pretty good. It's kind of far away from all my other forts, so it's not bad that much. Okay, let's end the turn here. Yeah, good. Okay, nice. Battle in the Endless Caverns. Our forces defeated the attacking force. Oof. Let's take a look at this battle. I feel like this video is turning into a Mekone gameplay. Okay, yeah, these guys get bodied. So, not too bad. Ooh, okay. Got killed there. Destroy the gates, much more time to succeed, and so on. Pretty good. So again, not much really going on. Some shamans are still searching around for stuff. Again, this army's building up bigger and bigger every time. Let's keep throwing these guys into groups here. Oh, I thought I sent this guy out. Did this guy not move? Oh boy, I put him to research. That's why. Jeez, he's so slow. Okay, maybe, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to take off his army to make him move a little bit faster. We'll dump his troops with these other guys that are around here. I have a few commanders around. We'll throw them in there. Like this guy can have the units. And let's put them there. That's fine. So, pretty good. All right, that's fine. We'll leave this guy. We'll send this guy out of here and just start moving these armies out in the meantime. And this guy can move a lot faster now that he's not burdened by his big army. So we need to start getting some commanders. What I think I'm going to do is switch up my research. I'm going to start recruiting a bunch of polemarchs. And we'll do something kind of funny, which Mekone can just do. I won't be recruiting anymore for now. I'm going to start mass producing some just fire pearls. And we're going to make a lot of really cheapo little thugs. Let's get a few of these guys to start working. Yeah, this will be good. So let's get Forge Magic item. Just a Burning Pearl to give the attack skill bonus. That'll be pretty good. We'll do monthly forging. These are fairly cheap, so I think we can do this for a few months. What else should we do? Again, we're just thinking of a very basic thug gear. So we don't need too much. We don't want to spend a lot of money on things. I could go for a bola, fire bola. That could be pretty nice. Maybe let's get that as well. As like a secondary weapon. Oh, we got our level 7 magic items as well unlocked. And anything else, maybe another trinket would be good. So we already have a range weapon, a little trinket, and then something else to just kind of buff up his ability a little bit more. We can go for a little bit more protection, or for something else, like missile protection could be pretty good. We just don't have enough gems for that. Lodestone Amulet to resist magic. I think it's not much of an issue against the AI anyways. So let's actually just go for Ring of Warning, Fire in a Jar. You know what, this could actually be good. Temporary fire gems, so we can use some fire magic in battle. That could be pretty nice. So let's actually go for Fire in a Jar. Oh, monthly forging. Let's do that. So forge fire in a jar, whatever. Fire bolas and burning. Is this guy doing monthly forging? Let's make sure he's actually doing that. Okay, there we go. So we'll start making a bunch of... Let's get only 3 of these guys to make stuff. Here we go, and let's remember monthly forging, fire in a jar. Okay, so fire in a jar, burning pearl, and fire bolas. We'll make just a very basic little gear for these polemarchs, and I'm going to start mass producing them and sending them out to go attack all these areas around here, which will be quite nice, I think. Is this fort can be done anytime soon? 1 month remaining. Oh my god, so slow. These guys, let's send these guys down into the pit. And keep checking out what armies. I need to kind of arrange this force here. This is such a mess. Okay, let's see if we can start arranging these guys a little bit more. Okay, a lot of undead. You could see I mentioned that summoning undead is usually not great, but it is quite good when you can do it for free. So right now I'm able to do it for free, basically. I don't have to pay for it. So it's now, in this case, I would say it's definitely worth it. Oh, I can't mix these guys, eh? Oh boy. Oh well. Put them like that. Get these guys to go with our giant dude here. Okay, we'll build up these armies bit by bit over time. I don't think I can put these guys anywhere. We'll stick them somewhere, I don't know. We'll throw them in with one of the commanders somewhere. Okay, we have a few death things. Let's get this guy to death. We'll give him a skull staff. So now this guy's another death 2 mage. Death 2, water 2. Now, can he do anything interesting? I don't know. This could be good if he had water 3, which, you know what, he might actually be able to get. Let's actually see. Forge a magic item. I think he can get Ring of Water Bracelet. That's great, yeah. So we can actually make a water bracelet and get water 3, which will be very, very good for him. Let's get this guy to do something as well. Let's get him summon more ghosts in the meantime. These guys keep reanimating. This guy can do something. I don't know what. We'll get these guys to all do something anyways. These guys I mentioned in my video on blood magic. If you can empower these guys with like divine sentience, you can actually get a bunch of blood mages from them. So these guys can be kind of nice. I wonder if these guys are actually worthwhile. A little bit expensive. I don't know if I really want to be summoning too many of them. Let's see what else we can summon that could be good for just building up a big swarm of army. Contact Lamias. Yeah, why not? I'm going to make a big AI army, just summon a bunch of crap, to be honest. And you, what can you do? Cast Ritual Spell. Let's see. Mound Fiend. Let's just actually, you know, I'm going to have these guys keep casting mannequins and Mandarogas. That'd be good enough for now. And you, what can you do? Cast Ritual Spell. Let's get more Forest Giants. That'll be fine. Or I can get Lamias too. Okay, that's fine. Actually, you know what? Let's get Lamias. That might be kind of nice. So we'll get all these guys to keep summoning stuff. We're going to build a big kind of meme army of all this summoned crap. And then we're going to go let loose on Niflheim, I guess. We got to try to win this game pretty quickly. Now, these guys are just sieging this down. I don't know how long this is going to take. We got to somehow get an army out there. So what I might do is get some water-breathing pills. Who can make pills of water breathing? All right, good. 25 human soldiers. How much does this cost? 10? I can barely not afford that. So let's actually alchemize a little bit. There we go. And let's make the water-breathing pills. Then we can send out a small army to go actually invade this little island here. I can't really make much here. What kind of units? How many units do I have here? I guess this is enough. I don't really need a lot, to be honest. And I might not be able to get that many with just water-breathing pills. We'll send a small force over there. To be honest, those thugs are more than capable of just killing whatever is there. Like whatever army is there. Okay, good. I don't really know what I'm doing with all these places. So let's just leave it as it is. I'm just summoning a lot of crap. And this battle, let's get these guys to move in to siege down the fort. There we go. Okay, get everybody to move in here and start sieging this place. Ooh, these guys used all of their gems, looks like. I forgot to even script these guys, so I'll script them really quickly. Okay, that's fine. So we'll set those guys up to start fighting in a minute. And that's pretty good. This guy, is he even doing anything? What the heck is he doing? Why is he still underground? Get him out of there. Okay, everything's going on. Let's end the turn then. That's enough for this. And I promise I'll try to start sending out some kind of army soon to go fight stuff. I want to make like a crazy army. So I destroy the gates. Good. And let's get one of these guys. Who can be our water breather guy? This guy, I guess. Okay, we'll get him to lead out a small army. I don't know how many. They said 25, so let's see if I can make it with this force. No, okay. What about just the Gigantes? Because these guys will have a siege bonus. Nope. Okay, just have to figure out the exact number of Gigantes who can actually travel over the ocean like this. So I'll just have to bring a few of them. Just a small army's enough, just for the siege strength. I could actually just get some of these guys. Let's actually maybe do this. This will be a really easy way to get a lot of siege strength very quickly. This might actually be even easier. So let's just do this very quickly. Yeah, let's get a bunch of these guys. I have just so much money. Like, nobody is going to be able to do this. We're just going to crush the last remnant of Pangea and get them out of the game here. Actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be overkilling too much. Let's actually go into the underground. I want to be fighting these guys as well. So let's actually get a few down here. Okay, we'll tire everybody. Crush these 2 remaining powers, and then we'll go after Niflheim. So there's 3 3 thrones on the map. I don't know how many you need. I have 1 claimed right now. Let's see, where are the thrones of the world? I have 1 claimed right now. I just need at least 2 more. If I get the 2 and then 1 more, because I need 4 points in total to actually do this. Okay, let's keep arranging these armies here. What the heck are these guys putting here? Okay, I'm getting these mixed up, the Mandarogas and Mannequins, and then I want these all to be very organized. I don't know why they're dumping them in the wrong spot here. Kind of get everybody organized in their own little group here. Lamias, put Lamia somewhere and put them with the Lamia Queen. We'll move these Wights somewhere else. Maybe give them to the other ghost guy. And we have a few points left. Let's see. I'm actually going to alchemize, and I'm going to summon a few more Wights. Let's do revive Wights as well. We'll get this guy to cast ritual spell. Actually, you know what? This is the guy I wanted to do something with, right? I was going to give him a water bracelet and summon the Kabole Taps. Kato Bella Pass. Let's get him to summon that. That'll be kind of good. That's a unique, one of the unique sort of, how can I say it? I guess the Greek faction units. Let's get more Mandarogas, Mannequins. That'll be kind of nice. Am I even researching anything right now? Okay, yeah, I got my enchantment, got my construction. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. Cast ritual spell. Let's just do forest giants again with him. And that's pretty good. All these guys are reanimating. We're going to have a huge force coming here pretty soon. I'm going to start moving these armies out to go, I don't know, fight in a minute. We'll get these guys out of here soon because we're going to have to start heading out to go fight with Mekone, sorry, not Mekone, with Niflheim in a few minutes, I think. And this guy, I don't know what he's doing. He's just doing nothing, so gonna have to go back home. I think he's pretty much searched every single location, right? Oh, not every location. Get him to move down here. These guys got lost, I guess. We'll send them somewhere else. Finally, this guy's at the throne. We can claim this throne, and there's only maybe one more throne we need to claim. I don't know which it is. It must be one of these ones, or maybe this one in the water. So these are the other 3 thrones on the map. This one could be possible to take. Maybe if I have an undead army. Let's see if I can build my army of just like undead. And we'll send these guys down. So I think this one is also water breathing. Ooh, no, she is not water breathing. So no good for that. But the other ones, all the undead are water breathing. So we can use these guys too. That'll be a pretty good idea. Let's send these guys out then. So we'll send this army out maybe next turn after these guys, you know, do their summoning little job. Destroy the fort in the Wicker Woods. Yeah, it'll take a long time for that. Evergreen Caverns has been breached. All right, great. And I bought a ton of these guys here. Okay, let's see. This has been breached. Let's get all of these guys to attack Storm Castle, and then we'll make our way to Pyrene and just crush Pyrene. This should fall as well very soon. It's just a very wimpy little fort. This army will keep getting them moving out as well. Start getting them to move towards Niflheim territory and then start to crush Niflheim very soon. Okay, and let's start getting our army out of these guys. Just arrange these a little bit more. This guy keeps summoning the undead, the long dead, into his own little army here, which is not really what I want. I don't know why he's doing that. Okay, huge number of long dead. Let's get these guys, the Mandarogas. Let's get the forest giants, wherever they're going. I don't know who I was dumping them with. This guy. The Kabole Taps. I don't think I can take this guy anywhere, right? Stick him with this guy for now. Don't know what to do with him. And the Wights. Okay, so this is our big undead army. Let's get all these guys who have only undead troops. Maybe we'll have to rearrange these a little bit because we don't have that many good commanders. You know what? I think what I'm going to do before we actually head out is I'm going to summon one Bane. Cast ritual spell. Let's summon a undead commander, so a Bane will be a good commander. Let's get maybe just one Bane, and that'll help take the pressure off some of these commanders who are not doing that much. Let's keep equipping these guys as well. So yeah, this is kind of decent, I think. I think that's not bad. Let's get these guys to start going out too. We'll help sending them out to go attack Niflheim in a minute. Yeah, I have 2 of these guys with their little kit here, the bolas, the fire pearl, and the fire gem. And just keep doing that. Keep making that. All right, good. That's nice. Very, very good. And soon we should have enough gems to cast the Forge of the Ancients, which I'm waiting for this guy to do in a minute. Okay, I don't know what these guys are doing. Let's get them to search for magic sites. And this guy's finally here. Claim the Throne of Ascension. I might just kill this guy off. He's amazingly good. He has heroic ability, but I need another, like, guy, to be honest. I don't even know how to kill him. Like, he's just too buff. Okay, yeah, claim the throne. Okay, good. What's going on underground here? This is going to be crushed soon. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's just end the turn. We're going to move this undead army. We're going to go take this throne in a minute. Yeah, capture the fortress. No problem. Let's see this battle. Pretty brutal battle. Jeez, that was just brutality. Just murdered all of them very, very quickly. Just lost a few random chaff warriors. So very, very good. And we can keep moving on. Just crush Pyrene with this big force here. Yeah, move on up. I have so much money. Like, just put like 100. Like none of the AI is going to be able to get through that. So we'll put that there. And these guys should be able to go out soon. So let's start sending these guys out. Okay, we're going to start building up our undead army here. Send them out in a minute. Good. Let's start arranging these guys a little bit. Like, these guys are just a mess. Just give them an attack. I guess I don't really need to script most of these guys. Same with these guys too. Let's move the long dead back a little bit, and then we'll put these kind of spirits and shit in front. Okay, the Lamias are not going to join us. I think we're going to leave the Lamias behind in the meantime. And did I summon a Bane, or was I doing that yet? Here he is. Okay, so we'll get him to actually take over some of these troops here, like the ghosts and these spirits. And maybe these wights as well. Because these spectral mages are not great commanders. So we'll get him to kind of deal with these guys. Okay, attack rearmost enemies, I guess. Let's keep organizing all these groups. Again, another line of these. I don't need to script them too much. We're just going to have a bunch of them kind of do whatever. Oh, let's get these guys out. For undead, the morale doesn't matter too much. Like, okay, got those guys scripted. Let's get these guys in a line as well. Put the Mannequins in front and the Mandarogas a little bit behind. And I think that's everybody who can go underwater, right? That's all of these guys. The ghosts are just doing whatever. The wights can go here and attack, I don't know. There, whatever. It doesn't matter too much, so we'll send these guys out. So this guy and these guys out. So we'll send a fairly decent army, and I'll script them as well. Let's give a few of these guys some death gems to bring with them. Now, I don't have too many, so we'll try to save some of these. And I'm actually going to give this guy some water gems, because he's my big water mage here. He can do some water magic casting, so these guys can both go out. Pretty good. We'll make our way all to this swamp here, move this big army out, and eventually we'll go underwater and try to take up this throne. It could be a little bit scary. It doesn't look that bad, though. It looks like Niflheim is gearing up for war pretty soon as well. So we'll start moving these generic armies out. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, eventually we're going to have to go crush Niflheim as well. If this is not the throne I need, I may have to take at least one more of his thrones to win the game. So we'll try to do that. This throne has been captured, right? Throne of Twilight. Let's keep moving this guy out anyways. And he can move pretty fast across the map when he doesn't have an army, so I'll just keep him unadorned, and he can move his way out to go capture whatever one of these thrones. I might have to make him a water-breathing thing before he goes out, so let's actually do that. So that way he can go claim this underwater throne. Let's make a, what is it? Water breathing. Ring of water breathing. That's good. So we'll make him that we can at least go underwater and go take one of these things. Here, another little mini thug sort of guy. Keep sending these guys out. These guys, I think this is a decent setup for a very cheapo thug. Because these guys are already well equipped. They have good armor, decent weapon. Giving them the bola helps kind of tie down different units. And the Fire Pro will increase their ability to fight, their general fighting skill. And the Fire in a Jar will let them use some basic kind of fire spells. So I should actually script them out, but I'll do that kind of later. What else do I even need to do? I think everything's kind of done, right? This is going to take a long time to siege down, so we'll see how long that goes. Now, did I get a message about that? Okay, it's been breached. Okay, so we can breach it. Let's breach it then. We'll crush whatever the remnants of Pangea are, and then we can get these three guys out of here to start doing something useful. Maybe start fighting Niflheim a little bit more, which will be pretty great. Okay, that's good. Let's end the turn then. Let's get these guys to just research, I guess. Whoever's not doing anything, get them to research. Okay, good. Yeah, pretty easy. Oh, our force has been beaten. What? Oh, no, it's just the one shaman. Okay, so I was mistaken there. Yeah, we crushed this big group here. No issues. I was making a mistake. We captured the fortress. Amazing. God of Pangea is permanently slaughtered, which is amazing as well. And let's get these guys to start making some thing here. So we need one of these guys to actually make a lab so we can teleport out. The rest of them, I don't know, they're going to be stuck there. You know what? Actually, this guy, Nurgash, he can come join our fight in the underwater area. Once these guys move in. Nurgash can go join them. And we'll keep all of these mercenaries in our pay right now. Now, I think there's a way you can upgrade this by hundreds, but I kind of forget how to do it. I know holding shift will upgrade it by tens, but I think if you can do it something else. I forget which key you have to press, but it doesn't matter. I think everyone is so poor. No one's going to be able to buy these. Okay, good. We'll just keep all of these guys in our employ. And move on to crush Pyrene. Ooh, he's got a lot of forts down here, but I'm just going to go after Pyrene. Like, we don't need to worry about anything else over here. Just keep moving on and take out this one, which is our last guy. If we can take out his capital, the rest of this really doesn't matter at all. There. Put 80 in there. Why not? And here, actually, I should send someone down here to come build some stuff. I want to build a temple there. So let's send actually one of our mages over there, and he can go build a temple. The rest of these guys can go to Pyrene and go fight. Okay, good. Not too bad. All right, let's end the turn. I guess there's not too much else I'm really doing right now. These guys are still reanimating. We'll get these guys to do something. Can they do anything else right now? Not really. They don't have many gems, so we'll leave them as they are. Battle in the Mines of Despair. We defeated them. That's no big deal. Battle in Pyrene. Yeah, we defeated them as well. And I think we'll be able to crush Pyrene pretty soon. Okay, good. That's totally fine. Now we're going to assault this in a minute. Let's get these guys out of here first. Cloud Trapeze. We're going to send them, let's send them over here. Okay, good. The rest of these guys can walk out. I guess these mercenaries are going to be stuck there, but this guy can walk out. These mercenaries, I don't know what they could do. And this guy is flying, so he can just fly out. Yeah, he can fly over here somewhere. All right, this is finished. Let's keep this guy building, and we'll go in here and build some of the infrastructure we need as well. This army, I don't remember what I'm doing with these guys. I'm just moving these armies kind of close to the border. Oh, this guy, I remember I was going to get him the ring, the breathing ring. All right, so let's script these guys out, and we'll go assault that fortress down there. So this guy's doing Cold Bolt. Did I set this guy up before? That kind of sucks. Let's do something else. So let's actually get him to do... could do Living Water. summon water power, and then living water. That might be pretty good. And then we'll just get him to do spells. I don't really care what other spells he does. This guy, what can he do? I don't know. We'll see what he can do. Can't do too much. He could do water elemental. He could do water power. And then, I guess not much else, right? School for Sharks. Yeah, the problem is he's kind of limited in what exactly he can do because he doesn't have much power for anything. He can do Horde of Skeletons, I guess. Yeah, not much to be honest this guy can do. Maybe just get this guy to go do like Cold Bolt or something. I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. These guys, let's get these guys to do something. I'm actually going to get these guys to be my skeleton casters. And let's get one of these guys to kind of spam terror. That'll be pretty good. All right, and we'll get the other two to be Skelly spammers. So this guy can do Horde of Skeletons, just continuously. And I gave these guys some gems, right? So maybe I should actually take these gems away if I'm just going to have them do skeleton spam. What else can we get these guys cast? That would be useful. Could do Rigor Mortis. Actually, you know what? Let's get this guy to do Rigor Mortis. That'll be good. 4. Oh, I guess he can't cast that then, right? So there's not really much else he can really do. So let's just get him to do Horde of Skeletons, I guess. Yeah, because I forgot. You know what? Actually, you know what? What I can do? This guy really doesn't need his Skull Staff. Let's actually change it to one of these guys. This guy now has 4, and now he can cast Rigor Mortis, no problem. So then he can just do Skeleton Spam. The rest of these guys just do whatever. I don't know what they can do. Okay, good. And that's great. So this is a pretty decent little army. Let's send this army in. And we'll send Nurgash here also in there. Oh no, he's not undead himself, right? Ooh, he is not. Yeah, that's correct. So he cannot go underwater, even though his long dead forces can. So, oh well, whatever. We have this army going in. Hopefully that's enough to deal with whatever's here. I think so. I think that'll be enough. But we'll see anyways in a minute. We can get this guy to come join soon. Yeah, let's end the turn. Hopefully that's enough. I hope this doesn't all, like, just die instantly. Let's see. Battle the Unforgiver. Great. So we took over this province. Huge battle here. My big undead army finally coming to fruition. Okay, insane, yeah. So you could see the amount of skeletons these guys are able to put out. These guys are both high-level death mages. They can put out insane numbers of skeletons. So this army, I wonder if I can just go conquer the whole underwater right now. Like, what could Relay even fucking do right now? I've put just a ton of province defense. I'm just going to put max. Like, why not? Ooh, maybe not waste all my money on it. Let's just do like 50. Like that, that's good. Okay, let's just start conquering Relay. Like, what the fuck can Relay do? Relay can't do anything, right? It seems not. So I'm going to start just crushing Relay. Where's Relay's capital anyways? I don't know where it is. It must be somewhere like over here somewhere. There must be some reason why he can't go expand here. I guess this throne was blocking him and maybe something else this way, which is blocking him from expanding. So I don't really know. I'm going to start crushing his underwater force. And I'm going to send this guy in to go claim the throne. What throne is this? Throne of Bones. Oof, that sucks. That's not a good throne. And that's not the one that's high level as well, right? Yeah, so Throne of Gates and Conjunctions is the one I'm looking for. I need at least one more throne in the meantime. So I need one more. It's one of these ones somewhere. I don't know which one is better. I think I'm just going to strike Niflheim. Let's send a diplomatic missive, and we're going to declare war on Niflheim right now. This undead army can keep fighting underwater. That'll be their job for the meantime. And this guy can move in. Let's get these guys to go. We'll teleport them somewhere over here and take out one of these thrones. Whatever one of these thrones is, I think this one will be the best option, actually. So let's get these guys to kind of move up a little bit, move them somewhere else. And we can get them ready to teleport right to this throne right here. Here, let's actually cast Ritual Spell. We're going to send them out to Cloud Trapeze. Can we send them over here? Yep, that's a good range. Good. This is my fort anyways. It's within one jump to this throne, so we could probably send them there to snipe the throne very quickly. Let's get all of my thugs to go get ready and go capture this throne very quickly. Because we'll see if there's anything even there. Who's underground here? I have 2 more guys underground. We'll leave them here to help fight this battle. And then we can bring these 2 out to go fight as well. I think I have more around somewhere. I have these little light thugs I'm making, so I'll keep moving these guys out. These guys can go do something eventually. Just getting this big junk army of just like chaff troops out there. And let's equip these guys too. Get a few more of these mini thugs out. Okay, so a few more of these guys out. That's pretty good. And I think I have enough now where this guy can do... Cast Ritual Spell. I can do... Riches from Beneath. Is that even better? Ooh, I mean, this is pretty good too. I don't know. Forge the Ancients or Riches from Beneath. They're both similar price. I feel like Forge the Ancients is better for me, though. I don't really need money right now. I mean, province income, resource value. Will this give more gems? I guess it might give more gems, too. So let's actually do this. This might be good. Yeah, let's do that. The AI is never going to get rid of the spell. So we'll do Riches from Beneath. That'll be pretty good. And yeah, pretty good. Let's keep going here. These guys are just going to be stuck on this little island here forever. I guess we'll let them disband, and then I can recruit them again later somewhere else. Okay, good. Let's end the turn then. Walls and Pyrene should be able to fall very soon, and then we can just crush the rest of Pyrene underground. Battle in the Sea Untamed. Okay, just against some province defense, so really nothing there. Ooh, Lake of God. Let's keep moving these guys out. This guy, let's get him to claim the throne. And there's only like 1 more throne. You know what? I might get this guy some flying boots. That'll make him a little bit easier to fly around a little bit. So let's get this guy to make magic item. How much is this? 10? I can make that. Let's make the flying boots for him so he doesn't have to walk everywhere. We can just fly him around. That'll get him a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, we got a good force here. You know what? Am I at war with Niflheim right now? I don't know. Where's the status? NAP 3. So counting down will soon end. So 3 turns, then I can go fight them. Yeah, I forgot I have the hard, whatever it's called, the hard things turned on right now. Okay, let's get these guys. These guys I think are... We don't need any more of these things at the moment. Get these guys to research. Research, that's fine. Okay, good. And this guy can just research as well. So that's enough of these mini thugs. We have enough of them. We've made quite a lot of these guys. I don't think we need that many. Okay, good. And this guy did Riches from Beneath. Did it increase our gem income? I guess it did not. Oh well. Well, this guy can just do some other stuff later. I don't know what else he can do. He didn't forge. I should have done Forge the Ancients. That would have been a better value, to be honest. But whatever, that's fine. Let's get him to research. Just do whatever with him. Cast a Ritual Spell. How much else? What am I researching right now? Let's actually get up our Thaumaturgy, maybe. Get up to level 6 so we can get Wither... Actually, no, we don't really need Wither Bones. What would be a good thing to get? I don't really know what I need, honestly, at the moment. Maybe just keep going. Let's go up another level of Conjuration. Go up to Conjuration 8 and then just get, like, Alteration. Yeah, go up to like Alteration 5 or 6 or something. That'll be good. Evocation actually would be good. Maybe we should do that first. There, just get a bunch of that. Whatever, I don't even know what to research anymore. I'm just kind of doing whatever at the moment. There, okay, good. And that's pretty nice. So we just have to go conquer one of these thrones. We should be pretty good. Holy shit, there's a ton of units here. Who can actually go lead these guys? Okay, this guy can lead like 100 of them, so let's get him to lead them. And then some one of these other guys can lead a bunch as well. There, these two can go lead a bunch of these units somewhere. I don't know, I'll lead them out here. We can go fight Pyrene, maybe. Just build a big army right here. I'm kind of forgetting what I'm doing with all these guys. I was going to construct building, lab, and temple. Good. And this guy's building a walled city. We'll turn this into another settlement. And I forget this guy was going to do something as well, right? He was going to build a lab. And one of these guys can build a temple or something. Okay, good. That's pretty good. And this guy can continue upgrading to fortified city. So now this is all set up. Once that's all built, we can just go teleport in a few turns and hopefully take all the thrones we need to win this game. Oh my god, unexpected events, tons of events. Yeah, defeated attacking force. Oof, a lot of junk there, look at that. Let's see this battle against the Mine Lord. Okay, that's enough. We lost 2 long deads out of 140, something like that. Okay, just keep moving these guys along. Like, I'm just going to conquer the whole ocean with these guys. Oh, I was already doing that, right? And this guy took that throne. We'll get him to come back. We'll give him his little winged boots. And then we can start attacking Niflheim soon. 2 more turns, we can go attack Niflheim. Oh boy. And is Pyrene breached yet? Breached, yes it has. Okay, good. You know what? I'm going to recruit more of these. These are the guys on that little island. I'm going to recruit them again, but we'll recruit them in Pyrene to help our war front. Though I think I have more than enough forces to actually fight this here. Like, this is not a big deal, so we'll just storm the castle. I think we can do it. I think these 2 are more than enough to kill whatever's there, so that should be pretty good. There we go. And we can start producing more mages around here as well soon. Battle in Lake of God. Great. Ooh, big battle here. Let's take a look at that. A Mine Lord. Sea Serpent. Ooh, got a lot of junk there. This is a typical AI army. Though my army's looking pretty AI as well. You know, I always like the Horde of Skeletons sound effect where it just sounds like they're burping. Oh my god, we failed to capture the fortress. I knew I should have waited at least one more turn, and I lost one of my Cyclopses. Oh boy. Okay, that's tough. That's real tough. We still occupy the fort, though, but we lost a lot of units. Oh my god. Did I lose everything? I lost all these guys. Jeez, that's real bad. Damn, we lost 2 of my big thugs there, which sucks a lot. Oh well, now we have a bunch of these guys. I should try to make another one. I don't know. Like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's make another, like, Gigathug guy. Once we get to Conjuration 8, we could probably start summoning Immortals, right? We got Conjuration 8 already, actually. So let's do that. Cast Ritual Spell. Call a Wraith Lord. That's great. Yeah, let's call a Wraith Lord. Can I afford that? I can. Ooh, nice. Call a Wraith Lord. And we'll get these guys to start making some weapons, some magic items for these guys. Okay, so we'll get these guys to start doing some different things as well. Research. This guy's going to cast the Wraith Lord. Forge a magic item. Now we have the higher level magic items available now. So let's see who can actually make some good stuff. Let's get these guys. These guys should be able to make some good things. We'll get a whole little kit for our Wraith Lord set up. Iron Skin would be pretty good. Let's make that. What else can these guys make? Some armor. Ooh, the Symphiline Wings. Actually, this is quite nice. Let's make this. And what else? We need boots. Boots of the Spider. And Boots of Grasping Earth. Ooh, that's actually quite nice. Let's make that. And who else has water magic? We don't have that many of these guys with actual water spells, right? Ritual spell. Oops, nope. I want to forge a magic item. Now, what other little trinkets do I need for this guy? I don't really know what would be good. Could give him a copper arm, right? Maybe that would be a good idea. Let's try that. Let's get one of these guys to make a copper arm for him. And I'm going to stop recruiting these guys now. Let's just recruit the Gigante, these guys instead. And make copper arm. Let's make another weapon. Let's make a firebrand. That'll be great. And what other weapon was I making in the meantime? I don't think I'm making another weapon right now. So let's make a firebrand and then maybe a frostbrand. We could do both. That could be kind of funny. What I could do, actually, you know what? Let's make a firebrand and maybe a wraith sword. That could be pretty good. Something that has a decent kind of ranged effect. Nothing great, to be honest. You know what? Let's get an Axe of Hate. That'll be pretty good. Let's make an Axe of Hate. And then we're making a shield. I think someone's making a shield. Is anyone making a shield right now? I don't really know if anyone is, but let's get somebody to make a shield. This is pretty good, right? Yeah, let's get that. Let's make this. There we go. I think that's everything then, right? Maybe one more thing I can make. I don't really know. Okay, I think that's going to be enough so we can make a nice little Wraith Lord thug and he can fly around and go compensate for losing my 2 Gigantes earlier. So that'll be pretty nice. What else am I doing around here? Who else is doing stuff? This guy, I'm going to have him move out. Eventually, he's going to go grab one of these thrones. And I think one more turn until my NAP runs out with Niflheim. So let's keep waiting there. This battle went pretty well. Oh, here is Relay. Should we just go take this? Do we have enough to actually take this? I really don't know. You know what? I do need some more water gems to cast Living Water. So maybe what I'm going to do in the meantime, let's construct building, build a temple here. Oh, build a lab, actually. Whatever, build both. Why not? Just throw it in there. Let these guys to defend here for a moment. And then we can go attack Relay directly and just go crush them. That would be kind of nice. Let's end the turn then. I guess we'll just have to use all mercenaries to squat on this fort for now. Entrance Pyrene has been breached, so we can breach it anytime. I think I'm just going to let them sit there for now. Pyrene is not really a threat. Let's get our Wraith Lord. Where is he? There he is. Okay, so Chill Soul, our Wraith Lord Immortal unit. Let's equip him with all our stuff that we wanted to give him. He's got everything. Oh, he has Horror Helmet, or I can give him the Stone Face. I don't know which is better, to be honest. You know what? He already has a big Fear Aura. Let's give him the this one, the Iron Face. I think that's a little bit better than the Horror Helmet. This is pretty good gear. So he has this one, which has the automatic Shocking Grasp. He has the Firebrand. He has Axe of Hate. He has these boots of grasping earth, which gives like an earth grasp or earth meld to everyone around him. He's dancing shield for defense. He has this helmet, which gives him iron skin. So I think he's going to be pretty beefy. I'll give him a few gems as well. I don't know what he can cast, to be honest. What would be worth for him to cast? He could do... Oh, no, he can't do Rigor Mortis. That's right. He could do, like, Shadow Blast, I guess. Just... I don't know. I'll give him a few gems anyways. Let's give him to cast, like, Terror or something first. I don't have anything like Invulnerability yet, so that would not be great. So he doesn't have too much to help defend himself a little bit. I could do Skeletal Body in the meantime. And really not much else, to be honest. Do Skeletal Body and then maybe Horde of Skeletons. And then wait one turn and attack. So yeah, I don't have that many spells to actually make him too beefy yet. I would need Invulnerability and Soul Vortex, which don't come till way later. I think that's an alteration, right? Invulnerability, yeah, there it is. And Soul Vortex. So that's alteration. Well, we'll go up alteration then after this is done. But at least we have this guy. We can fly him around. And has my NAP run out? It has. So now Niflheim is gearing up for war. But unluckily for them, we have these massive armies here who are just going to go crush them. So what I'm going to do is let's attack here first. Okay, and I'm going to teleport these guys immediately onto this position. Let's do Cloud Trapeze here. Oh, not enough magic gems, damn. Okay, so let's get this guy to alchemize very quickly. Yeah, Cloud Trapeze on this position. Fly this guy in as well, and then we'll start moving in there with an army to go support them. So once this army gets there, they can go support them, and these guys can just do whatever as well. Actually, you know what? I don't want this guy to die, so let's send him away for a moment. Send him up north, because he can go capture this throne once it gets taken. And these guys all are ready. Let's give them a few gems. Oh, no, these guys are still building, right? Okay, I don't know why they didn't build the lab last time. I guess I forgot to build it. So let's build the lab then. I built a temple, I guess, instead. Didn't really do anything else. Okay, so let's do that. These guys can go keep invading in a minute. You know what? I can get these guys soon. Let's get all these undead. We might send one of these other guys out to go help them out a little bit. There we go. Let's get this guy to go join them, and we can give him a little setup as well to start casting some big spells. I'll make him just a terror spammer as well. I think terror is pretty good. So I'll just do that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever. Let's cast specific spell. Just do terror a bunch of times, I think. Okay, that'll be good. And cast spells, that's fine. So he'll just go down there, he'll join this army, make this army a little bit beefier, and then we can move on to Relay. It looks like Relay's already getting invaded, unfortunately for them. Okay, but I'm going to start invading Niflheim. Niflheim's going to get crushed, and we'll just win this game in a minute. Ooh, a lot of battles. Battle here. Ooh, lost there, unfortunately. Damn. Okay, this guy was able to kill it, though. This guy's way better. Look at him go. Wow. So this guy came in here and just killed them all. Yeah, I think this nightmare aura he has makes him really hard to deal with. Yeah, and the fact that he's also much stronger, too. Okay, so he's just going to sit there and kill them all. I'm not going to watch this whole battle. But I really like that Nightmare Aura. I think it's actually quite good. We defeated an attack in Pyrene, all right? A lot of battles, a lot of battles, a lot of battles. Battle in the Lake of God. Yeah, okay. Ooh, we got attacked somewhere. What was that? Where did they attack from? Oh, they attacked behind me. Oof. Okay, so let's actually send this army back. There's a fort there, unfortunately, and we lost this battle here. Let's send this guy in to go support. He can go fly in there and go support them, and then this army can go out and go crush them in a minute. Now these guys are ready. Let's give this guy a few more water gems, which I was waiting for. I'll give some water gems to another one of these guys too, so that way when he runs out, I can just resupply him. Let's go re-attack then. Attack relay and siege it down. Okay, so we just need this fort. Throne of Might. Is this the one I need? I guess it doesn't matter. I just need one more throne regardless. It doesn't matter which one I need. So Throne of Might or Throne of Gates and Conjunctions. Either of them would probably be okay. So probably this is the last throne, which I haven't gotten yet. Now this army is going to start being a problem. I think what I'm going to do is just do a cheeky PD dump. Right there. Make it really annoying for these guys to move out of here. Let's do one right here too. I just swimming in so much money, it doesn't even matter, to be honest. Okay, I don't have any other armies though, unfortunately. And this one in Pyrene is on its last legs. Yeah, oof, that's bad. So I really need to start building up some armies again and do something with these guys. Okay, well, I have a lot of junk basically just around. Get these guys to all just, what was I doing before? Was I doing something with these guys? Oh yes, I was equipping, I'm totally forgetting what I'm even doing with all these units around here. But whatever, I think it's pretty much done in a minute. Now, this guy, where did he go? Where did I put my... Geez, I hope he didn't die. My one prophet. Ugh, he might have died. Ugh, I might have moved him somewhere, and I think he might have died in this province, actually. I think that's what happened to him. So I think I moved him up here, and he probably got killed, unfortunately. So I need another prophet soon. Maybe I'll just leave this guy here, and he could be my prophet later, whenever I can do that again. The other option is these guys. No, these guys are only magic 2. The other thing would be maybe summoning a bishop fish. I could do that right now, actually. Let's maybe see if I can do that. Cast ritual spell. Let's get a bishop fish. That'll be good. So I can get a bishop fish, and that can, you know, do something for me. Let's get these guys to wait here. And then I can just send them out somewhere. I don't know. We'll get someone to make a water breathing thing as well. Let's get this guy to make something. Amulet of the Fish is what I need to actually get him out of water. So this is it. There we go. So let's make him an Amulet of the Fish, and that'll be our kind of backup Holy 3 guy to go deal with that. Infestation. Let's see, what else can we do that would be quite good? I want to start, like, casting some big spells to do something. Let's do Vengeance of the Dead on this province. That'll be pretty good. Don't know what else to do with these guys. Get her to summon some more Lamias, I think. She can't even summon Lamias. Oh, boy. Okay, so whatever. Keep going enchantment. Let's keep researching some enchantment, maybe. Okay, that's good. Whatever. I don't even know what to research anymore. I'm just kind of doing, like, whatever, to be honest, at this point. Let's just end the turn, then. Oof, a lot of battles here. Oh, my God. Uh-oh. Yeah, sieging force has been beaten. Ugh. Oh, and our Cyclops got kicked out and killed. Jeez, this is bad. Niflheim is just swimming in units right now. This is crazy. Bro, this sucks. There go all my, like, thug units. And where is my immortal guy? Where the heck did he go? Did he just die? Like, come on, bro. That sucks. Oh, boy. Okay, so this is going to be a problem. I need to get one of these thrones, but they're all stuck behind Niflheim's walls of just fucking guys, you know? Okay, I guess we're going to have to start recruiting again. Just units. We need more, like, chaff in all these places. And Mekone is going to have to start recruiting as well. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to start recruiting stuff because we can't just do nothing anymore. We got to start getting some commanders out here. Let's get this guy to pick up some units. And get our commanders out of here. Alright, so we need to take one of these provinces. We just need to push through here and get in there. If we can get one of these armies through here. This one is kind of like shitty. Jeez, these guys got all his gear too. I can't believe that Wraith Lord died. Like, that sucks so much. I mean, he'll come back in a minute. I think he should be back already, right? Maybe next turn. He is immortal, but that sucks. Whatever, we got all his gear. We'll have to march him back out there and put him somewhere to go fight this stuff. Okay, let's, jeez. We gotta go do something about this. I gotta start building up some more thug units, maybe. That's what I should be doing. Okay, these guys are ready. Move out there and get the bishop fish. Get him his little medallion and get him out of here. Actually, you know what? Let's give him the boots. Oh, he doesn't have feet. Oh, bro, that sucks. Okay, so we'll get him on the land at least. Somewhere. Okay, let's just march him around. We'll try to bring him over here and get him close to one of these thrones where we can just go take it really quickly. Actually, you know what? Instead of going for relay doesn't even matter. I'm going to march this army over here, and I'm just going to go down to take that throne through this way. That might be the better idea. Yeah, that's good. Let's get this guy to go join them. He can go join with these guys, and we'll do that instead. That seems like a better use of my efforts. Okay, so I don't care too much about what's going on. This army is just a pain, but I don't care about that. I want this throne. That's what I need right now. We're going to go crush that throne. These armies are a big problem, though. Ooh, boy. Okay, these guys are a big, big issue. Let's start recruiting some different units here. Let's get some more commanders. That'll be pretty good. Instead, I'm going to send some of these commanders out to go... actually, you know what? Let's recruit just generic commanders for now. Let's get a couple of these guys. I need more. In the meantime... let's get this guy to go lead out a small army as well. This guy could be pretty good. I'm going to take off his gear that he has right now. Let's give him something a little bit more useful. Let's give him a champion skull. And maybe a hwere helmet? I don't know. That could be pretty good. Actually, you know what? Let's save that. Let's save that for someone else. Okay, this guy will be another little force that'll come out. This army, we're going to keep moving them east. And eventually go push here as well. This is all we need. Whatever these guys do over here, it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't care what they do. I'm going to just dump PD here. Yeah, just do that everywhere we can. Like, that's totally fine. We will build up enough of a force in these areas that we can actually send these guys out. So let's actually throw these guys into an army. There we go. Let's do a lot of flame spells against these guys. We just need to break these guys very quickly, because these are just going to be a pain otherwise. Let's send a few of these guys out at once. Yeah, that's good. And these 3 earth guys, we'll get them to do something. I don't know what. Could do Blade Wind. Let's just spam Blade Wind. That'll be good. And the last guy I'll send out is this 3 fire guy. We'll send him out too, and we'll get him to do, I don't know what, maybe incinerate, I guess. Falling fires, that's pretty good. Okay, good. So these 3 guys will all go out and join the army here. We'll send this force to have a double line right here. There, okay. That'll be a good little force. We'll send these guys out in a minute to go fight. So, you know, let's send them right here, because there's a lot of troops here. At least province defense. This army is getting battered, but, you know, they're pretty beefy. They should be able to take this. These are just armies and armies of giants. Oh my god. We gotta do something about these guys pretty soon. I do have a lot of gems, so maybe I'll just start to make another thug unit. So let's actually do that. Forge a magic item. Let's make some things. We do have some very high level stuff right now, so let's see what we can make. Okay, so we're going to make another thug unit guy. I don't know what happened to my Wraith Lord. Did he even die, or what happened to him? Where did he go? He must have died. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he got, like, obliterated or something, like soul destroyed. Unfortunately, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Yeah, okay, this sucks. But whatever, we're going to have to just crush this very, very soon. Let's just end the turn. I think we can do this. Whenever I see I can... Oh my god, what is this stuff happening? Troll Kings attacking everywhere. Okay, so the Wraith Lord has come back again. Let's get him out of here. Go join in this battle. And we took over this province, which is great. Now we got to move in with this army to take out this one. And we'll have a massive army on this province and then be able to just win the game, I think. So that'll be good. Let's just keep going north, this army. This army should be enough to deal with this small little group. Okay, that's good. I think that's enough. We don't need to worry too much about any of this stuff. Let's just get this guy to move in. We'll pick up some of these Cenophalians. Why not, you know? Pick up a couple of these Astral 1 guys, too. They can come join us, because the Astral 1s are kind of nice. They can do some basic little spells. Let's get these guys to do just like, I don't know, Body Ethereal, Astral Shield. And then Body Ethereal. Let's do that. And this guy, let's actually get this guy to do Healing Light. This guy can be a nice little healer. So let's get him to go in there, and he can just cast Healing Light a bunch of times, and we'll get him to join as well. Okay, there we go. Got a nice little army. We'll load these guys up. Stop recruiting these guys. We'll go back to recruiting something else in the meantime. And then we'll have another fairly decent little army to go out and join in with this. Okay, that's good. Let's just end the turn. I don't know what else is really going on here. Oh yes, I was making another thug unit. Well, we'll have this guy go pick up his old armor. You know, let's have this guy be our new kind of thug. We'll have him load up with a bunch of things. Okay, we can't. So let's say, you know, let's just arm this guy up again. Whatever. Okay, sorry. Let's, forgetting what I'm doing here. Do that. And what kind of helmet is he wearing? There, let's put that helmet on. That'll be good. Okay, that's fine for him. That's a basic little setup, but that's just good enough, you know? Let's get him out of here. Now, can he actually use any spells now? I don't know if he's leveled up his magic a little bit more. Or I've researched some better magic, so we might be able to do something better. Oh, we can do Invulnerability and Soul Vortex. Great. That's excellent. And then attack. There we go. Okay, so now he should be a little bit better, even though his gear is not as good as it was before. It's better than nothing, so we'll just send him out there to go fight. The gear he had before is all with these guys that are all like hogging it, so I don't know. We'll have to sort that out a little bit later. Either way, I think this is almost endgame here. We're almost in the end of this, so let's just keep pushing it. Battle Ivermore, great. That battle went well. Okay, I'm getting invaded by all kinds of random stuff. And this should be enough to go invade this place now. We'll invade here, we'll put a big army on this throne, and then we'll be able to just win the game, I think, right after that. Another army will start moving in. Move this one up. Like I said, it doesn't really matter about these other Niflheim armies. I think I killed the bulk of his forces, to be honest. So let's get a few of these guys together. We're going to load up these armies. Okay, good. And we'll send this guy in as well. Why not? We'll send this guy too. He could do a bunch of things, like maybe wooden warriors. And group regeneration. Let's do that. And can he take anything? I don't know if he can actually take any of these things. Let's give him a little shield and some boots. I guess that'll help him out. Make him a little bit beefier. I didn't even organize this army, but it doesn't even matter. I don't even care that much. I'll just send these guys out. Our next big army to go out. Okay, let's just end the turn here. We just got to finish off this game. Great, great, great. Now we should moderately damaged very soon. Ooh, what the heck happened? World Darkness. There. With a massive force on this province, we should be able to break it very quickly and then finish off this game here. Now, one thing I want to see is I do need someone to be my prophet. So can I make anyone a prophet? Become prophet. Great. So this guy will be a prophet, and then he can take this throne in a minute. Let's end the turn. Critically damaged. Maybe one more turn we'll be able to go deal with this. Oh, this guy I want to move out as well. I forgot about him. Okay, huge force here. Gigantic force. In maybe one more turn we'll be able to siege this province down. Okay, what is going on here? Under siege somewhere. Oh no, our sieging force has been beaten? Oh my god, for real, look at this bullshit. Oh my god, this game, bro. Holy shit, look at that. He wiped out my whole army. I might just give up on this point. Like, oh my god, look at that. Utter bullshit. Okay, let's just go, like, somewhere else. I don't know even what to do anymore. Like, that was my last throne. Got fucking smashed by this army here. Like, holy shit. Gigantic fucking army there. Oh boy, okay, we got another army cooking up over here, but like just not enough to do much, you know? Let's send this guy out to do something. Oh boy, okay, that is painful. That is so painful that that happened. Like, that is brutal, that battle. Let's actually watch that battle, because that is insane. That is so insane. That they lost this, like, for real. I guess because my commanders died or something. I don't know. That's insane. Everybody died too. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so brutal. That is so brutal. Oh my god. Let's run away with these guys. Like, ugh, that sucks so much, dude. This guy, no, this guy's not my prophet. This is some other guy. At least these guys survived. A couple of these guys survived. We're going to get them out of here. We're going to get them to join this. Maybe we'll just go after this, like, throne. I don't know. Like, this throne is like, oh my god. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm going to give up on that throne, I think. I'm going to give up on all these areas. Just fill this with, like, PD. And I just need to hold the thrones I have. And I'm going to go after this last throne instead. That might be a better idea. Okay, let's continue on here. Ugh, brutal, 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 brutal. Let's keep moving out. These guys. I'm just going to march over this way. Yeah, that's my only option, I think. Just march this way. Try to take this throne instead, because dealing with this fucking bullshit is like, oh my god, too much. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever this is, keep going out. Let's load up some of these armies a little bit more. There we go. More junk. Move this army out. Move this army out. This guy too. I'm going to sneak to this one. Hopefully he's not taken this one. I don't think he has, because this one says this is the only one that has not been taken yet when I check the map. So this is the level 2 throne. If I can get that one, then that'll be enough. He can just keep this one and annoy me by having it. Okay, we'll send this army up here to recruit. This is something, I don't even know what the heck this is, but it's something there. Okay, these guys can go up. I'm going to get this guy to summon another bishop fish, and we'll make another amulet of breathing with one of these guys. A lot of these guys are not researching. Get these guys to research. I kind of forget to put these guys back on research when I get them to craft stuff. But whatever, this is my last ditch attempt to go crush something. Just take this throne, which I don't think he owns yet. Okay, yeah, whatever there. Oh, we're under siege somewhere. I don't even care about these places anymore. Let's get these guys to move up. Actually, you know what? I need this guy to stay here. Let's construct a building, build a lab. These guys can move in. And the rest of these guys can move in a minute as well to go join up. We'll get these guys to stay here. These guys can go join in this province in like a minute. Okay, we're just going to keep marching this army, these multiple armies of just like junk, and we're going to go take this province, whatever it is. So we just got to go through this one, which is a little bit annoying, but I think it'll be easier than dealing with the big Chungus armies that Niflheim has up north. Okay, good. Nice. Oh, I didn't even get this guy to do the bishop fish. Okay, let's do that. Summon bishop fish. Good. And you know, let's get this guy to summon some ghosts, I guess. I don't know what else to do with him. Let's get him to summon some ghosts. Ooh, what is this? You know what? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do Karen reanimation on this province. I want to kind of see what's there. Okay, there we go. Oh, under my control. All right, whatever. Let's cast Ritual Spell, and we'll get this guy to do, I don't know. Let's get him to summon some ghosts as well. Let's get him to summon ghosts. And then when these guys are all ready, we'll get them all to move in and start attacking. So let's go here, attack this force, attack this one, and that should be pretty good. Oof, bro, what is that? Oh my god. Is this for real? What the heck is this army? Oh my god, bro. I hate this fucking Nifl army here. Let's get out of here then. Let's go somewhere else. Oh my god, like, leave me alone, you guys. This stupid, like, big Chungus Nifl army is just chasing me everywhere. I just need to, like... I just need, like, one turn to capture the fucking throne. Please, guys. You know, let's get these undead dudes to move out. We'll get them to move out here. And I'm going to try to sneak around somewhere else and go take this army, like, out of here. There's really nowhere else to go. Oh, did he move? He moved from here to here, right? I think that's what he did. Okay, geez, we just need to drop this guy in to this province and take it, like, for real. Is there anything I can do to like decimate that guy? Cast ritual spell. Do I have any like good rituals that can just like hurt that big army and just crush it? I don't know. Let's do a manifestation. What is this? Yeah, you know, let's do this. Let's do an Ashen Angel. Oh, a little bit too far. Damn. What else can we do? Cast ritual spell. Any other like things I can do to just like help deal with that stupid army? Vengeance of the Dead, maybe. Let's do that. Why not? Okay, and what about this guy? Can this guy do anything? Cast ritual spell. Not much, right? Do Karen reanimation. Let's do it here. Why not? Let's end the turn. Yeah, okay. There goes that big army. Pfft, stupid as hell. Oh my god. I just need to get Frosted Peaks. Where the fuck this is. Let's just sneak around the other way. We're going to just keep running from this guy. We'll get another big army set up, I guess, soon. And where did this guy go? This guy's doing something. Actually, I'm going to get this guy to sneak around. This will be my little sneaky boy. Maybe I can get him to sneak around somewhere and go capture something. Okay, so let's get these guys to keep sneaking around. We're going to try to sneak around here and go behind and capture the Frosted Peaks just very quickly before the Neefle, big Chungus Neefle army can respond. I'm going to try to lead them north. If I can lead them away from here, then they might be able to avoid me. Okay, so Frosted Peaks has like 250 units there. It's a lot. Now what I can do is I'm going to attack, and maybe Neefle can attack that, and then I can run away before he actually invades me. So let's see if I can take this. I don't think so. Anunnaki of the Sky sounds pretty scary. But I'm running low on options here. You know what? Actually, what I could do is get this guy to go out with a gigantic army. Like, why not? And he can do something pretty decent. So we'll get him actually to go out to this province, make his way out there. Very slowly. There, I'm just going to keep doing Vengeance of the Dead on these provinces because I don't know what else to do there. I would like to end this video, but like just finishing off these last two provinces with Neefle, just the endless swarms of Neefle is like, oh my god, like going to take forever to do it. Okay, oh, and this went terribly, I guess, right? Yeah, everyone died. Great. That's going to be impossible to crack, too. And, like, either taking this fort or, like, what? I don't even know what, to be honest. I'm going to go back with this army and keep trying to take over this little province here, if I can do it. I just need to crack it before this army can get back up north again and then take it, which will be not that easy, I think. Okay, I'm going to sneak back here. Maybe we can take this army. I don't think so. It might take a long time for this army to get over there and do it. What I'm thinking is if we can do like crack the fort, do a spell to crack the fort, that might work out. So what I'm going to see if I can do, what path do I need to do that? Is it alteration? I think it is alteration, right? Iron walls, and what's the one that can actually just smash the building here? I don't know if it's that. It might be enchantment. There's a spell you can use to actually break down an enemy fort, which I forget what it is. Okay, here it is, crumble. So I'm going to use this on that fort, and hopefully that will allow me to just capture the fort very quickly. Just going to take a long time to actually march these guys out there. Let's get Chill Soul to go join them, and he can help fight this force a little bit. Okay, great. That's amazing. Oh, boy. Okay. Really a pain in my ass, this kind of thing. And Worthson is not going anywhere, right? Unharmed, we need more men, of course. So this is going to take forever to deal with, and he's going to have a big army coming here soon. I think I'm going to pull out. I'm going to escape for the moment. We're going to go back in the ocean. We'll come back here later to go fight that stupid force there. Okay, so I'm just going to keep marching out. I just need to wait till I can get here. I'm going to cast Crumble on Worthson, and then hopefully just be able to take it in like 1 or 2 turns before that big army comes by. Okay, I don't even care. I'm losing all these things here. Let's get these guys to move back in. I'm going to have this guy cast Crumble on Worthson. Cast it like 2 or 3 times, and we'll just do that. Oh, is it Cataclysm right now? Uh-oh. So the thrones are being taken right now. What has been taken? Oops. So this game has been going on so long that all the thrones are being eaten. So all my thrones have been eaten. There's only 2 thrones left. This throne and my throne. So, jeez. I'm going to end up losing this game because I'm being too slow to just fucking finish it. So we just got to finish this off quickly. Like, I'm going to just look at this. Oh my god. Horrors, 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 horrors. Jesus Christ. Throne of Might has been regained. Oh, I won. Okay. So, because the Throne of Might was eaten and I had the last throne left, I just won the game. So, there we go. Okay, so that was an insane game. That went way too long. How many turns was that? Insane number of turns. 90 turns. Oh my god, just a grinding fucking game. I'm going to cut out a lot of this. Just huge empires. My huge empire versus Nefel's gigantic empire as well. And just like a long grind against this. But I guess I was just really, really lucky that the last throne left was mine. One of these thrones, I don't know where it is. One of these thrones was the last one left, and I was the last one holding it, so I just happened to win the game. All right, so there we go. Oh, this is the last one, yeah. So this is the last throne left. And so I won. So pretty good game here. I didn't end up using the death magic that much. And this is a super long video. Oh my god, like 2-3 hours. I don't know how long it's going to be. But whatever, I hope you enjoy a long, long game. I might cut a little bit out. I don't really know. But either way, guys, that was death magic and a super long game as Mekone where I didn't use that much death magic. But either way, guys, I'll see you again next time. So goodbye, guys. Wow, look at that. Oh my god. And I was getting crushed by Mekone at the end there.